All right, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Chat? Hmm. I'm trying to see what I can do to fix this, but it's like, are we good? Man, I made the joke about Twitch trying to kill me, but I wasn't expecting it to be more of a real joke. Okay. All right. We're going to try to resume the race. And be shafted. Got it. Hello there, prick. Hi, officer. It's time for a police race. You're not going to be able to catch up if I don't let you. Welcome back, everybody. I'm sorry for the hiccup in the stream, guys. I don't know what was going on. Because for whatever reason, it was sending me into Oregon for my connection, and it was not sending me to like a reasonably closer server. Yeah, I lost you, officers. You don't know where I am, other than in my dust. Get out, run. Okay. Yeah, so we're trying to get through the tutorial of this game. Effectively, is learning the basics of racing and like what can happen. So guys, we were just having some issues with the game and stream wanting to die repeatedly. You know, just casually problematic things with technology. Can't have a stream with all of this stuff now, right? Okay, so I'm just losing them very easily, it seems. And I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon and almost shafted myself. Also, considering the fact that I'm not using nitrous. Well, it is early game, so they aren't as hyperactive. Oh, I agree. That's speed breaker. Nope. It's on left bumper? All right. Oh, it's just the first lap. Okay. Why is nitrous on left bumper? Getting back up to speed. Let's see. There's always scuff, even on your setup. Woo, cinematic. That's gets. There we go. Yeah, so I'm wondering what's causing all this scuff going on right now. Even my setup being 3 programs in the mixer, there's always one some days where I get recordings. As of right now, it's just OBS, my mixer, for my microphone, and in the game itself, and like Discord.
What's up, poser?
Like I even have Steam shut down.
I really am, because I can't wait to get a crack at that ride. What?
Which makes me wonder what's going on actually.
You gotta put your ride on the line to run against a blacklist racer, and that
Like,
people aren't stupid enough to do it. I'll be waiting.
Oh man, you're not gonna race me on fair terms. We understand this. Yes, for as long as I've been to viewers, I've been next seen ever. Yeah, no, there's been times that repeatedly my streams have gone down cynical. It's always right around now for some reason.
How's your car running?
Right?
I need your pink slip.
It's just, I don't know what's going on for it to do that. I've had things where it's like I have the reconnect protection now. Right? So it's actually pretty nice. I'm sorry, Bobo. But yeah, no, a lot of my crashes are the previous ways, things that used to happen to my stream, especially when I was like playing Elden Ring. I've killed a lot of the problems that were in that specifically. So it's like, okay, fix it here, fix it there. I think a lot of my issues lately have been specifically with like my connection to Twitch. Because lately my connection to Twitch has been getting spottier after they removed the servers from Texas. Because the Texas servers were the ones I was closest to. Why'd you change servers? Texas closed them. Texas closed the Twitch servers. They just closed them both. So now I either have to do Ohio, Oregon, or Virginia. I'm talking for Twitch server connections. Twitch server connections, honey. How we connect to Twitch. Like, literally, that's...
I heard.
Yeah, no, hon. Like, those are the only 3 servers in America as of right now that we can connect to for Twitch. Ohio, Virginia, and Oregon. All of them are mostly far north of from us. Because Twitch closed the servers in Texas. Because they did.
Yeah. Mexican ones?
We can't, no. There's no servers even in Mexico or South America that we could connect to without it causing some really weird interactions for the rest of our community. pretty much. Yep, and the forced destruction of your engine.
Forced destruction.
Yep, the game literally, the game has your engine get sabotaged. So just so you lose your really cool car here, which is a Nissan Skyline.
Oh, your dream car.
That they tutorialize you with, and then say go get a new car and go rise up the ranks again. As just a giant middle finger to you as a player.
If I had the ability, I'd buy that car.
Oh, I know. It's one of those things of because now that it's street legal here in America as well, I'd be like, I don't even have to fuck it up and nerf it.
Hey Mia, sweetheart, the winner circle's over here.
In Jack Mirror, does that look like Flame On?
Yeah, it does.
Bus stops that way, champ.
Yeah, I'd be wielding daggers against that cuck. Oh, see, that's the thing.
The UC thought you were the one, but you're mine now.
Also, 2000s cops.
Hey, where's your fancy ride?
Who cares? He's not gonna need him where he's going. And they're gonna love you in the big house, baby.
Well, you can't get me for anything if I'm not actually having a car, now can you? Yeah, fuck you. This is the game that shows like corrupt police, all because you decide to have races in most of the cases completely abandoned streets. Like there's a lot of races where they clear the streets to make sure it's safe. There's a bunch that they don't, but you know.
Razor set you up.
There's a number of them that go both ways.
Gets worse.
How old is this game?
He's
2005?
and he used your ride to get there. To get back in, you have to become
This is a PS2 game, honey.
win races and build up your bounty.
I have a
I put
PS.
you up with a place to lay low in. But first,
Yeah, but I just don't.
It still works.
I know it does.
I have a controller for it.
I know.
Friend coming by. Do me a favor, hook him up. Thanks.
Now the question is, do I go with the silly car or do I go with an actually decent car?
Silly car. Wait, hold on.
Uh-huh.
It came out in what year?
2005. This game is like 20 something years old.
I was 19.
Okay, so we have the Lexus IS30, the Fiat Punto. That's what it's called. Its name is right there.
I'm sorry. I just know it.
Honey, Italian, not Spanish. With an N as well.
Okay.
A Chevy Cobalt. That look familiar, hun?
Yeah, we used to have that.
Uh-huh.
That's our baby that you totaled.
I did not total it intentionally. I got clipped and put into a ditch.
I never said you did it intentionally.
The Golf GTI from Volvo. I can't... There's a bunch of cars I can't get yet because, you know, I have to beat other Blacklist members. Yep. So yeah, I have those four available.
Hey, Torres.
You know, I'll get a Cobalt. That's what I used to drive.
Hey, it's me. Check out your map. Head up to the location I told you about. I'll meet you there. Later.
The vibe checks for lore. Because you were coughing so hard, honey.
Oh.
Over the punto.
I thought it said Punto.
No. God.
My coffee's.
I'm getting my coffee with the last little bit of the camera.
You think you can get the gamer subs out of my basket? I've already got it doctored. It's doctored.
Give me a second then.
It's just the water bottle.
Okay.
I am just so glad that wasn't. Oh my god, it blew my brain.
Thank God it wasn't a full-blown migraine for you too, hon.
It was enough.
Here you go. That's on it still. Like, I legit got concerned. Lorelai's dealing with a bad headache where it's making her a little bit photosensitive. Right?
Well, no.
But she-
Let's be realistic. It was a migraine. I just caught it early.
Because you
Like-
thought I said puta.
No, I thought you said puto.
Puta. Either one. Which means bitch.
Yeah.
Lord, I do not observe. It's dangerous.
And then, but why?
Because if the cars have their lights on and they pass, it's going to become like a flash effect. The doctor's office is closed until Monday. Actually, why is that?
Doctor's office is closed?
I mean, it is after 7 on a Sunday, technically. He's not wrong.
What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. I see what you mean, Bubba. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I misunderstood it. Bubba's throat's been killing him.
Bobo.
And he's going to the doctor soon because it got better and then it got worse.
I told him to go yesterday.
It's closed until Monday.
Shit, I'm sorry.
Alright.
Don't let it get too bad, Bobo.
Alright.
I'm sorry I worried you, Seneca.
Okay, something is up with my controls that I gotta futz with it just a little bit.
What time is it?
It is 7:56, honey.
I got 4 minutes till meds.
Yeah, you should go take your meds on.
Yeah.
I can't even use the thumbstick for camera. Got it. Something I used to do all the time. Yes, I have seen the Mega Army running self-destruct. Yep. Mega Starmie's running self-destruct. Mega Starmie. No, an actual competitively, honey. Yeah, no, but honestly, the thing is like with Need for Speed, I used with the car we're driving, the Cobalt. I actually used to have a Cobalt before a couple years ago. And one of the things I would do, I would drive Lyft in it, right? It's a competitive build. I thought that was a meme. It's kind of a meme. It's self-destruct Mega Starmie.
So you found it all right. What do you think? You can store your ride here. Consider it your safe house. You can use it to lie low when your heat gets too high. If you want to take out Razor and get your ride back,
But I used to have a Cobalt.
a lot of work to do.
It drove really, really well. Was really efficient on gas. It had all the, all the good things about a car,
Everyone on the way.
right?
As far as they're concerned. Looking to get back into the blacklist.
The only downside I had for it, because I'm really tall, is that I would hit my head getting into the car. I don't do that as much anymore with a similar vehicle now, but
Cool.
the reason I got totaled was there was one night I was coming home from Lyft, and a guy with a truck that was lifted up, and with the extended while, the extended tires out from his truck, it clipped my tail as I was in lane, and it caused me to fishtail, and then I ended up in the ditch next to an overpass over the highway. into right next to a hospital.
That was not a good phone call to get.
It was not a good phone call to get. It was not a fun walk home either. Because remember, I had to walk home with that.
Yep.
I was not more than like 10 minutes away from home from a walk. Don't get me wrong.
That was also with the gate.
Yep. So yeah, it was one of those things where it's like I had to walk home from that, but it drove really, really well. So I'm actually kind of glad that the first car we're getting in this game is a Cobalt. Why is there a fucking RX-8 in my safe house? I don't know. Mazda put it there, I think.
So are you gonna name it Roadrunner?
I can't name the cars, I don't think, in this. But it was our Roadrunner. Our little
Literally,
meat.
we called it Roadrunner because of the horn.
Like little forward drive cars like that are easy to drive. It was great. I'm not gonna lie, it was great. The car after that though was also pretty good. The Oldsmobile Bravada.
Honey, FWD, front wheel drive.
I said forward wheel drive, didn't I?
I mean, it's also not a thingy for forward, but that's front wheel drive.
Yep. Yep.
Forehead wheel drive.
Forehead wheel drive. Yep. Mm-hmm. But yeah. So, anyways, for everybody who doesn't know this game, you have 15 people you gotta knock off the list, and you have to beat them with certain types of wins and certain types of milestone events, and a total number of bounty with the cops. After you do all of that, you're able to race him. So you can automatically hit like, hey, I want to do these things, right? So like I can set up, I want to attempt this milestone here.
Photo ticket.
I have to basically go through a speed camera at or above a certain speed.
If you get into pursuit with them, the longer you go, the more heat you bring down on your ride. The more heat, the more cops.
Also, it has old like GTA heat mechanics.
I call them pursuit breakers.
Okay.
Which means, you know, as the game is literally just explaining right now, the longer and harder you make the cops have to chase you, the worse they're gonna come with you, and until I think at one point they break out tanks in this game.
Oh jeez, are you serious?
I know they do helicopters, they do tons of cars, they do like literally racer type cop cars
Until they actually
catch you. Or you get through a what's called a pursuit breaker / safe house.
So which one are you gonna try to do?
Well, what I'm doing is I'm not doing that, but they're letting you know that you can do this and start a chase and go through a speed camera at like over 80 miles an hour. Like there's a couple things you can do. So it's like, okay, so piss off the cops and go from there. Like immediately already pissed them off by going through at 111. Right? So now they're big mad that I'm just showing off in front of their cameras and they can't do anything about it. Let's get set up for this race right here. Can I actually brake, please? It was putting me in reverse and not actually brake. All right. But yeah, so all of this game is mostly about just, you know, running around, racing, kicking people's ass, stealing their cars, stuff like that. This game's all about fucking around and them finding out.
Yeah.
With a pretty damn good soundtrack, all things considered.
I'm glad you understood what I meant.
Oh yeah. Hey, Mr. Traffic, I'm sorry.
For traffic?
I just hit a car head on and I'm still rolling, and they're now out of commission. There is civilian traffic in a lot of these races. So how's all y'all day going so far?
All y'all.
All y'all's, yep. Level 1 and 2 are Civic Cruisers, level 3 has State Cruisers and Rhino SUVs, level 4 is undercover units with faster SUVs, and level 5 is Federal Cruisers with more armored Rhinos. Yep. Doing laundry before you make dinner? Nice. I have leftovers in the fridge I need to eat for dinner. Or I can make some cereal or waffles or a yogurt bowl for Lorelai. You okay? Do you want one right now? Alright, let me finish up this race and I'll make you a yogurt bowl, okay? Wasserman knocked out. Oh, it's a knockout race. Oh. Okay. Yeah, so if you guys don't know what the concept of a knockout race is, basically anyone who's in last place is eliminated on each lap. So it does become a problem. By the way, Bubba, I did see that you added the push-ups. Those will be added to the beginning of next stream. I'm keeping track of them because I do want to make sure I get back on those, but like today is kind of like the last rest day I get before I do another cycle of them again. Am I really that far ahead of them right now? That turn's gonna kill me every single time if I don't get good at it. Just love tap with the tail. I was gonna post my IRL NSF car in the garage channel, but I'm not allowed to. Seems you should be allowed to post pictures. Hold on, I'll let me figure that out for you, Vi, as soon as we're done with the race, and I'm gonna go make that yogurt bowl for Lore. Because I want to see it. Alright, give me 1 second, Vi. You should... let me see if the garage channel actually has posting pictures allowed.
I did not turn off pictures on Garage.
It makes me wonder if Violet just doesn't have the permissions for some reason.
Who doesn't have permission for the Garage?
That's why I'm like, okay, did Violet did not get the permission somehow? That's why I'm checking.
If pictures are turned off, turn them on.
Pictures are turned off right now.
They weren't supposed to be turned off.
Boop.
Just pictures.
It's attached files.
Yeah. Alright, Vi, you good?
You should be good now, Vi.
But I said, because there's a picture right there. They shouldn't be off.
Well, see, that was before we turned them off again for some reason.
Probably because
Also,
of the images.
Probably. But I can do...
What did you delete?
Someone who's no longer on the server. Oh.
Oh, that's pretty. What is that?
That is pretty, Vi.
What is that?
Vi, is that a pearlescent paint job on your car?
That is. That's exactly what that is.
That's so oh, am I allowed to show it on stream? I want to make sure I do that before I show it off.
Well, there's no
I know there's no
make sure that you can't get anything from that.
Oh, there's nothing you can get from that. That's a brand up there. It looks like the vinyl wrap. I ain't that baller. Show it, sure. Okay, hold on. Copy image.
It's still expensive for a vinyl wrap.
It's still a pretty vinyl
pretty
wrap.
As fuck too.
Like that is pretty, Vi.
Like holy fuck.
Like seriously, that is pretty. I also don't know what model of car that is. I'm dumb. I don't know what model of the car that 2001 Toyota Celica GTS with a bunch of period correct mods. Ah, I see. I see.
IRL or is that?
That's her real car.
Okay, that is beautiful.
Like that is a pretty vehicle vibe. I always, even if it's a vinyl wrap, I always love the pearlescent effects in like when it comes to car racing stuff.
Damn, that car is beautiful for like 25 years old.
Yeah, I mean,
That is
I'm gonna be 100% honest.
gorgeous.
Violet has so much interesting knowledge and so many like little things that I don't expect. So when I find out that yeah, cool, I'm just casually into Need for Speed style racing stuff. This is here you go. Here's my car of it. I'm flabbergasted every
She
time.
did the rap herself.
Wouldn't do it again though.
Yeah, I don't blame you, but holy fuck, vibe. How much? If somebody, for example, say if somebody was willing to pay you to do a rap, what would you charge for that?
Honey, knowing what the efforts of what you need to do the rap for,
Oh, it's gonna be quite a bit. I'm just curious what
but
she.
like I pass.
I don't blame you.
I don't blame her considering I've seen the rapping process.
So have I.
It's not.
It's not easy at all. Hey, Rachel.
Yeah, so
My next thing will pop.
I'm sorry, hon. From a shop, this would be like 2 to 3K. Yeah. Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah. 2 to 3K Canadian or American?
That's American, honey.
I was
That's
gonna
American.
say that because that makes a difference.
Yeah. No. There's 2 cars in our local area that I'm always so jealous of every time I see them. Right?
Yeah, I know, bud.
One of them is a Lightning McQueen car. They literally turned their Chevy into a Lightning McQueen. I don't know what car it is.
Oh, hey, hon.
There you go.
I'm gonna send you a picture so that way you can.
The other vehicle I always see constantly, like at our local Walmart, like no less. It is the Cyberpunk Edge Runners Rebecca RX-7 that I keep seeing running around.
Okay, hon.
Hmm.
Some pictures I want you to put to show off of what we saw on. Oh wait! Oh.
Hmm. Oh, right. We also saw something oddly familiar on our way home from fair.
And of course we were singing.
Uh-huh.
Because had to.
We saw something a little suspicious on our way home. You know. Something a little bit meaty.
Oh, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer.
While we were driving home from fair.
Of course, I was in the passenger seat, so I'm the one that took the picture.
Yeah, these are Lorelei's pics.
I am not good at taking pictures, but hey.
We hadn't seen one in so long. It was just like, oh my god. And having to go 90 to catch up to this thing on a 75. The Weenie Mobile, exactly, Anubis.
Oh yeah, no, Joe, we were literally singing in the car.
We were singing it like, my baloney has a first name, it's O-S-C-A-R. My baloney has a second. It's M-E-Y-E-R. Oh, I love to eat it.
Every day. If you ask
me what I'll say. Cause Oscar Mayer has a way with B-O-L-O-G-N-A. No, we saw this while driving Anubis.
Oh, I wish I did. I was craving hot dogs so badly.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I have the Cyberpunk car in my camera. This way I can go, hey Vi, here you go.
Alright, good job, Rectal. I also went down too. I know what my dress size is now. Woo! I go down one more size and I can fit into my wedding dress again.
Albums, camera. I don't have it in, oh, I do have it in my phone.
By the way, Rectal's challenging you on clothing size.
I know he's challenging me on clothing size. I've already lost 4 pounds.
It's a little bit harder. It's a little bit less noticeable with Persephone because I buy her like spandex stuff and t-shirts.
All right. I sent it to Vi so that way she doesn't miss out on this, but I found it in my camera feed, guys.
Is that the anime one?
It's the Cyberpunk car. It's the Cyberpunk car. That's the one with Rebecca on it.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Like I told you, it's rolling around our area with her unique guts shotgun. Exactly. Like this person, like I saw it and Lorelai heard me going, "Yeah, it's Rebecca," as we drove up. Like unironically. Alright. So we're gonna get back to playing. We're gonna get back to racing cars in just a minute. And then that way we can continue playing the game. Don't abbreviate Cyberpunk. Rectal, I didn't.
What do you mean abbreviate Cyberpunk?
Honey, abbreviate Cyberpunk as 2 different words. Now, also, what could that be applied to?
Oh!
Well, this is why we don't abbreviate Cyberpunk without saying 2077 at the end of it.
I don't abbreviate it. I never have. I never saw the point.
No, there's a lot of people who have tried to abbreviate Cyberpunk as that, and it's like,
why?
oh, because they are lazy. But then lazy leads into, oh no.
I think I'm actually good now. I just have it's now a mild headache.
It's also like saying IDF. And no, we're not talking about a military organization. We're talking about the Immunodeficiency Foundation. Like, that's one of the things that have been happening lately.
What do you mean?
Well, the IDF is a military function. And there's a lot of things where it's like for example, Connor, like Sea Dog, he's been promoting the IDF and saying you should support your IDF. He's referring not to the military organization, but to the Immunodeficiency Foundation.
I hate to say it, but if somebody said promote that, I would immediately think military.
That's the point. That's why he has to now spell it out, and we can't abbreviate it anymore.
Isn't it also because I'm a military brat, so that's where my brain automatically goes?
Yes. But a lot of people immediately assume because of that now.
MTG being either a politician or a card game?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I don't know who that is.
That is a really fucked up politician.
I stay out of politics as much as possible.
Yeah.
Which, the interesting thing is if they actually go through with the thing of saying, oh yeah, by the way, women can't vote and your husband or your father has to vote for you, I'm perfectly fine with you voting for me.
That's not the point.
I'm aware it's not the point.
This is a car dealership. I wanted a safe house.
I don't agree with the, with that thing happening.
I don't want to get into the politics of it all right now. You know?
Yeah, I completely understand.
It's bad.
That's one of the reasons why I prefer just to let you do the politics stuff.
And that's why I'm like, I don't want to talk about it. Let's get another race going. This way we can start getting some money so we can actually, like, dress up our pretty car. Go backwards, please.
We're both saying
It is,
it's less impactful now that she's left Congress.
I mean, yeah, but...
That's also why we play Metaphor.
Exactly. We can talk about, like, political ideologies during Metaphor.
Why?
Because all of it is about the political ideologies of how certain folks and then people act. Both the corruption of it and what the intent is meant to be. And it shows, like, the dark side of all of it.
And 2022 was rough. Yeah, both me and Persephone caught COVID in February.
Yep.
2022.
Mm-hmm. 2022 was a rough year for a lot of people.
But me and Persephone got to spend some really nice quality time being isolated. I really hate it because I actually got the rest of the apartment sick. And I'm the only motherfucker in the apartment that got paid to stay home.
Yep. Whoops.
What if we bought into a Paradox interactive war game?
Okay, so here's one of those problems with the Paradox interactive war games. Those things are so fucking long. Like Crusader Kings is all in that same vein. The Endless games can be in that same vein. Like, there's a lot of, like, political ideologies that are really difficult to actually discuss.
Honestly, I think something Persephone would like is if someone started playing chess.
Just having people playing chess would be fun.
Yeah, we had a really nice chessboard.
I've had multiple really nice chessboards over the years.
I don't know what happened to it.
We also had the Lego chessboard that also disappeared.
That one made me a little angry because I bought that for you. I don't know what happened to it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm able to get it again, if I'm able to get it again, and you build it, you can teach me chess.
I mean, 100% I would do that.
Yes. I'm almost breaking 500 chess.
Tabletop Simulator is always useful in that instance.
400. Don't know what that is.
Okay, so chess.com has rankings, and it's based on what's called ELO, and I don't know what the actual acronym stands for, but generally it's a summation of, like, your last so-and-so number of games up to something. It's like a point scoring system, and the higher your ELO, the better as a player you are. But in the same vein, it's really hard to climb up, it's really easy to drop down.
Fair. I think golf is the only one where the lower the number, the better.
Yeah.
I'm not good at chess, but it's still fun.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, Rectal. I'm not good at chess. I enjoy it, though.
I'm not good at chess. I've never understood how to play. I've never understood how to play poker, and there's a lot of people try to do that. I've kind of given up on learning poker.
Poker's playing poker in the normal sense is hard.
Dude, it's kind of like football. I have no idea if, like, you could say it's like first down or whatever. I'm like, I don't understand. I know it's in 4 sections. You have half times in the middle. And you have to get the ball to the goal. That's about it.
No, I don't want a body kit. This is all customization. This is not statistical improvements on that one. Balatro is the funniest way to learn poker hands, followed up by Bejeweled 3. See, Balatro is not a bad way to learn, right? The problem with Balatro specifically is that it teaches you in a very shorthand way how to do it, and not like an actual, like, in the way of playing with other people manner. So it's uniquely its own issue, right? It teaches you the hand and how valuable each hand is compared to the others, but it doesn't teach you, like, does this suit beat that suit? kind of situation.
Oh, honey, I got it confirmed that.
Oh?
Was it? I have vacay for sometime next month.
Yay!
Did we commission Amar to make the thingies again?
We should probably talk about that. Not right now, but
Get seen, Acrid.
all right. I'm dealing with people who are starting to have upgraded parts. All right, I'm gonna have to go to the shop later.
I'm sorry, I have not been doing my job.
You also need to go talk to Misquits about some stuff too. Come on, correct? Oh, God damn it.
I see you.
I don't have any nitrous to catch up with, so this has to be a pure skill. Catch up. Dude, are you just cruising thinking you're comfy? No, I'm coming for you. Swiggity swooty.
You're welcome.
God
Hosea.
damn it, I gotta restart.
How was fair, by the way? It was, if I'm not mistaken, the last day today.
Yeah, I think today was like the last day of fair.
Well, for sure was.
Yeah. It's raining outside?
Yes, I'm here.
Nice. I love the sound of rain.
So do I.
And before people ask, well, you're a hearth spirit, wouldn't that put you out? I'm not
You're not Calcifer.
I'm not Calcifer, I'm not doused by water.
You have a actual fun.
Just because I can take it on the form of a flame bubble does not make me...
Oh, I would be disappointed if you couldn't withstand water because that would
put a real big damper on our relationship.
No, it wouldn't.
Oh, these bitches use the shortcut.
It wouldn't put as much of a damper as you think.
Brake checking, bitch.
I'm sorry it wasn't as good as you wanted it to be.
Hey, rival. If this is the shortcut, I think it is. Yes, it is.
Oh,
My memory of this game's coming back.
honey,
Yes?
I also pretty much got another job offer for Sherwood.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And unfortunately, because of my job, I can't take it.
I know.
But if I could guarantee my job would let me go,
Right.
you wouldn't have to do lift for 2 months because I'd cover it.
Pretty much. It would be appreciated. We're on the second lap. Let's... Oh, I'm...
Stand accurate. But yeah, no, effectively, you would be there, you
Well-
would make the money as my assistant.
Mm-hmm. Oh god, I'm in second again because of this.
You got it, honey. I believe it.
I think we're right at the end of the race. I don't think I have enough of the parts to catch up. Unless they miraculously really fuck up. Which they did exactly that, which I'm surprised about.
Said you like the sound of rain?
Oh god. Woo. Alrighty.
How's that line?
Okay, that's pretty to hear.
That is amazing. And it's nice and cool.
Yep, it's nice and cool.
Like, take a moment and step back a little bit for me.
I'm going to put us on the BRB screen for just a minute, guys. So we'll
Oh, you
be
don't even
back.
have to be on the BAB.
No, I'm going to do that though.
Okay.
We'll be back, everyone. All right, we're back, everybody. We're gonna continue now. No, while we're on the quick break, I know it's for my own good, Rectal. I'm not complaining. One of the things that happened while we were off stream is that Lorelai was talking to me about something, and I went to our little candy jar that we have now, and I pulled out a lemon gummy, and as she was waiting for my response, I went, lemon, and put it in her mouth. Referencing one of our favorite silly memes from lately.
So as a Medusa, if someone feeds the snakes something, can you taste it?
It's a good question. You know, I think I can.
Lemon.
Yum.
Why would you do that?
Basically, yeah. All right.
I know that artist.
Right? Right, Bobo? I love the saga of Jack and Jackson. Exactly. I see all their stuff all the time. It's so good. Hey, it's a Blade Storm.
I love how she enunciates the words. It's
the artist as well.
It's so good.
It's the artist as well. It's not just the sound person, the person who does all like the sounds and everything, right?
My favorite part is how she says everything.
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie.
I need to find who the audio source is for that one. Come on, you need to stay on my tail. See? Come on.
I think when it comes to that, I'm a slight audiophile because it sounds so good.
It's one of those things where it's like you really enjoy like good sounding audio.
I really, really do.
But it also makes you recoil that much harder
because of my misophonia.
When it comes to like certain types of noises.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Bye. Yeah, you lost me because you're idiots.
Cover units be advised. Vehicle was last reported heading west on Campus Circle. Plotter should be set up in the surrounding area. Call is still code 6.
Hi, Ren. They have a webcomic.
Ren!
Oh, you're gonna have to link it to me, Bubba. Because I want to read the actual comic in order, rather than just all the audio memes.
By the way, can anybody else hear the rain in the background?
I don't know. It might be filtered.
Hey, honey.
Hi.
Baby elephant.
Alright. Actually try to piss off the cops again, because I need to have the chase last long enough. You're not hearing the rain? I wish I could move the microphone close enough so you guys could.
Stand by. Vehicle description, we're having a hard time with our translator. I'll go ahead and head up.
Alright. Cops? No cops? No cops. Casually just go from 100 to 0 and die. You know what I could probably do now? I could probably go to the part shop. If it is the game is drowning it out. Yeah, no, it's probably realistically it's like the filters I have on my microphone that make it where you guys could hear me clearly and filter out a lot of like the clicks and clacks of my keyboard and everything. Oh, I'm gonna have to really piss off the cops. Okay. Hi, officer.
Yeah, log me onto a traffic stop. I'm pulling over speeder.
Yeah, officer. We got to do this for 2 minutes. Do you think you can keep up?
Dispatch, I am 1087 requesting additional units.
Roger that, Charlie 12. I've got ground units
Really?
clearing up and en route.
I messed up and you almost lost me.
Looks like you're okay. Continuing pursuit. Looks like he's got no intention of stopping. We'll probably let's
Come on.
75 if I can get around him. Let's get units to
I'm wiggling for you. Come on.
go easy.
That's a negative, Charlie 12.
Come on.
Request you hold off till the
I'm right here.
He is en route, switching to your channel.
This guy is gonna get away unless units can get that roadblock going.
Hi. Bye. Should be under the American Dad's version of Schoolhouse Rock.
I can't get around this guy. Stand by. We might change this up.
Come on.
Light damage to the vehicle. Suspect still 10-8.
Mr. Policeman. Come on.
I need more backup. Give me everything you got.
Yeah, come on.
10-4, Charlie 12. Units have detailed and are en route.
Bye. Get tired on.
Okay, Ren, I sent the thing via email because I don't have Nitro anymore.
And now we get that one done. Okay. Goodbye.
Charlie 12. Please
Let me through, let me look through, let me through. Nope. I almost got screwed. Hey officers, I know your favorite thing. Donuts! Alright. Goodbye. Come on. Okay, the cop's actually being competent at the moment. Which is exactly what I wanted, but like at the same time... No, you're not gonna be able to block me in. Nice try. Come on. Oh shit. Oh my god, nope, 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 nope. Come on, let me out. Thank you. Yeah, of course you lost me.
Units in the area be advised. The code 6 suspect was last seen heading south through the campus interchange. I have a go to set up a containment.
Yeah, screw you.
Switch call over to tax 3.
Oh. Driving home, the police routes to the game is making us think every now and then they're near us. Our friends were the Contras, freedom was their mantra, and so we spent lots of money for guns. Oh, never mind. Oh, jeez. All right. We should have enough for the bounty for Yep.
Hey man, that chump Sonny is looking for a run. He's still pretty fresh on the blacklist, so now's your chance. Don't blow it.
And now this means we should be able to do our blacklist race.
Thunder?
Maybe. I need the map. I think it's this one. Oh, God. Hi. Sir, you did not need to hit me like that. Okay. Alright, here we go. Oh, and I have all these messages in my inventory, it seems. Thank you, Bobo. Why do I have like umpteen bajillion alerts right now? It would be because of this. Got it. That would do it. Alright, thanks for the vibe check. Alright, let's get back to free roaming and getting to our destination. Because we want to go upgrade the car before we go do our race. Because if we don't upgrade the car, we can't really, we're not going to be able to do well. I do gotta double check. Which one's the e-brake, which one's the normal brake? Because that's something I think I keep mixing up. Okay, e-brake is in fact the trigger, and the normal brake is my X button. Okay, that's something I just need to double check. Ooh, okay. Note to self. E-brake is better for quick turns. It's something I'm having to relearn about this game a little bit because like this game does not pull punches. I also have like no handling on this car, it seems. I'm not here to race Sunny yet. Don't even think about it, game. Oh, all right. Yeah. Thank you for sticking around through ads, guys. We'll be ready to start doing stuff. We'll start to be able to do the next race.
Just been reported southbound through the campus interchange. Can I get units in the area to respond, please?
Oh, jeez. Did you really just put police on me?
Suspect lost. Switching off track channel, return to channel 3.
Any more details?
Let me in.
Generator file on this. Disregard that, I got the details on my screen.
Let me in. I don't want the cops to start, so I don't get in. Performance. Okay. All right. I need better brakes. I can't go to pro unless I beat. Okay. Okay. Brakes. I need nitrous for catch up. Oh, I can't get nitrous until I beat Sunny. Fuck. Okay. Oh, some of these upgrades I can't even get without Sunny. Oh, jeez. Add to cart. I don't have enough to do this. Be my cart. I can't do the engine right now. Which means I need to go grind up a little bit of money. Damn. Okay, this is fine.
Thank you.
Hey, Maki. Thank you for resubscribing. I faintly remember this game? Yeah. This is one of those games. Jump to save. I think I'm forced to do the race. Damn. We're gonna do a quick save real quick. Yeah, I think we actually have to we're just forced to do it. Yep, because we already have all the bounties done. We already have all the races done. I was just gonna let us do the race again. Oh, it's gonna let me do the race again. Okay. That means I could get enough of the engine, probably. And then I can take on Sunny. If it lets me. And if that happens, that means we are going to be in good position to... Oh yeah, I remember. Oh, and it's raining in game too. Nice. Of all the times to crash. God damn it. So I just realized that this thing has the worst handling out, like, I could probably have picked, but it has a really good top speed. Which is probably part of the reason why I'm struggling with my turns. So many hours on Duelist of the Roses because I didn't have a memory cards. Dude, you already Duelist of the Roses? There's a couple games that have like a lot of acronyms. I can't remember all of them sometimes. No, I'm not muted. I just got focused for a little bit. Okay. Come on, come on, come on. Stop it. Stop doing that. But no, seriously, is it Duelist of the Roses, Cynical? Okay. I still have never played Duelist of the Roses, and I know Ree really wants to take me through it. Just like I do want to do a playthrough of Falsebound Kingdom with him as well. It's just Falsebound Kingdom is without like speed ups is as a quality of life. It is a rough game to play. Still it's not my favorite of all the Yu-Gi-Oh games. I'll be honest. But it's from the era of like Yu-Gi-Oh games were good because they weren't playing fucking Yu-Gi-Oh the card game. Alright, so even though the races aren't listed, I can grind the races out, it seems. If I just go to the safe house to activate them. Okay. That's something I wish I knew way back when. I want to join you too if you play Duel of Thrones, and I'd loved it nonetheless. Well, I mean, it's more than likely going to be streamed. Like 100%. I'll have to talk to Ryu about that one. Another, like, I'll be honest, there's a lot of games that I think once you put them into spin-off territory, they feel so much better than they could have been. Another game I know a lot of people remember, but they only remember it because it seemed so out of place compared to everything on the GameCube, was Custom Robo. Like, unironically, Custom Robo, still one of my top games from the GameCube. I just don't have enough money for the engine. Okay. Here, speaking of the caffeine, Shinobi, it's all right for a third wheel who was strangely addicted to it, right? Let's do the blacklist race. Let's just give the blacklist race a try. And then from there, I think we'll probably shift to a different game after this because, like, I can only do Need for Speed in like small doses a lot of the time when there's, right? Just because like I get so tense playing. I'm feeling it again, and I remembered why I don't play it very often. Is that I get that locked in tense feeling. Maybe, Bubba. The thing is that I'm not sure. When I'm playing Hollow Knight, I feel good playing Hollow Knight, right? But when I'm not, I feel, it's weird that I don't feel drawn to playing Hollow Knight because I want to play Hollow Knight, right? And I don't know what it is. Like, it is a, like, don't get me wrong, it's a good game, it's a fun game, but it's like, I'm not in a, I don't find myself like gravitating towards, oh, I want to play Hollow Knight. Like I want to do like with Monster Hunter Stories 3 or Metaphor or like the other games that I want, right? ADHD wants what ADHD wants, exactly, right? And like, I did want to, don't get me wrong, I wanted to play Stardew tonight for sure, but Lorelai's not feeling good. So I was like, you know what? I'll just do something else tonight, right? Just kind of do like some free gaming. Oh my god. And I'm stuck. I'm actually stuck. Follow the dopamine. Well, even that, Bubba, at that point, it's not even the fact that I was just down you. It was just like, it was down you, it was down Lorelai. And Stardew's mostly was mainly for me, away from me and Lorelai to do something together consistently. But like, you guys being along with us is also super fun. You know? There's another game I kind of want to boot up. That I want to show you guys, although I don't know how. I need to see if I have it ready to go. Actually, you know what? No. You know what we could do? So you guys have known how I've been talking about wanting to do that the card game thing? Like designing cards and everything, right? Oh my god. I'm thinking I want to start making up what would be like considered baseline cards. Because, and I kind of need some help getting some names. Because, I've kind of started figuring out what I want to do with, like, the game itself. And I need to figure out some names for stuff, right? And, like, thematics and everything. It's not for a Perfect Draw campaign, by the way, Bubbo. It's just to make a set of cards. Right? It's literally cards to make my own set of rules and my own set of, like, my own thing, right? It's not for a campaign, although... Oh my god. Like, I am adapting some rules, and I'm adapting some things from Perfect Draw, and I'm adapting some things from Yu-Gi-Oh! And some from Magic, right? Like, I'm adapting a little bit of things from those, because those are things I'm somewhat familiar with, right? But... Oh my... It's not even that Magic has all the good generic names. That's not what I'm worried about, right? It's a matter of, like, just figuring out, it's, so, okay. Let me go over what I kind of have mentally right now, right, is, there are 13 factions, right? There are going to be 13 factions, each one represented by, you know, is representing like a theme or a subcategory or whatever, right? As a result, it changes up how, and a lot of the big synergy cards are going to be within those categories, right? Think of it kind of like the Card Fight Vanguard or the like the tribalistic idea, right? Is drawing 2 cards going to be too OP? I don't think so without something to counteract it. I think just a straight pot of greed is going to be a little too much. Just because it's going to be a 10 to 20 card deck size. Right? But maybe something like a Brainstorm where it's like draw 2, put 1. So like my recursion idea would be one of the tribes. It would be one of the themes within a tribe. Yeah. So, and it might have a leader, right? And leaders I'm calling rulers, right? They're basically they're the Dark Magician, the Blue Eyes White Dragon, the big face cards of the tribes. Are they necessarily one thematic mechanic or not? Yes, maybe, but they're not bound. They're not like in a command zone kind of sense, right? They're in the deck. They're just big legendary. They're effectively legendary creatures of Magic, right? Or your big face cards or boss monsters of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? kinda, yeah, graceful charity-like effects are really good, right? But like the cost of them also is fairly well balanced, right? Like those kind of effects I'm fine with, but a straight draw to, without it having some sort of like mechanical balance to it, would be a little too powerful, right? Or like mechanical intent for it, right? So, for example, I'll pull up my document and I'll put on some lo-fi after we finish up the blacklist races. Which I'm done. I'm done for the day because I'm tired of hitting the same wall repeatedly. I don't want to get mad, you know? So we'll save and we'll go from there. So you need just a minute to set it up, right? And let me save and get it set up, right? Wow. Stop. Like I said, I don't want to I don't want to get mad at this game because I actually like this game, and I am talking and driving at the same time is a little hard sometimes. All right. Let's get my music on. There we go. And let's get my document up, right? Just so you guys can have kind of an idea of what I'm talking about. All right, here we go. So my card idea thing. I wish I had the ability to zoom this a little bit better for you guys, right? So I have like all the card construction stuff. I have rules for playing it, the basics of it, but like I haven't made like a sheets for it, right? Google Sheets. Nope, I don't want. Just let me have my Google Sheets, please. Thank you. Blank spreadsheet. Cool. How about an Etrian Odyssey? Okay, so let me catch up with chat a little bit since I'm trying to set all this up, right? Recursion, will there be a resource system? There can be resource systems, but ideally, if like the concept of a resource system, if there's a resource, I'd rather keep it to more of a concept where that resource is for the tribe, right? So like let's say if you wanted to use mana, it'd be tied to like the spellcaster tribes. But if you wanted to use blood points, you would tie it to like the undead vampires. You know, stuff like that, right? How about an Etrian Odyssey? Honestly, like a party, like an adventure party, I know what the graphical theme I want for these, right? But I'm not making them, I don't have mechanical themes set down, right? So if I actually sort them by And I'm calling them origins, right? So like if I let's make this an actual like nice looking sheet, right? Let's do a little bit of graphical sheet setup, right? Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. Theo was game position after card design not being. Oh. Okay, I misconstrued that. I don't think I have it installed at the moment is part of the problem. Also I closed Steam because I was making sure that wasn't causing the lag on the stream. Oh, screw you. Stream got better the moment I closed down the emulator. Thanks, game. Okay. Hold on. One other thing I need to make sure is like, how do I night mode this shit? I don't have a way to do it. That's fine. We were gonna do Etrian Odyssey at one point, but I haven't heard from Lumi in a while, and I'm actually kind of sad about it. Right? All right, let's just turn all of these into like just a muted gray then for now. Just so that way it's a little bit softer on the eyes. There we go. Okay, that's a lot better on my eyes, right? Okay, so just setting this up a little bit. Like I said, I'm just being a little fancy Nancy about it, right? Right. So here's the problem, right? As of right now, regarding my themes that I have right this instant, right? I have 13 total themes, including an unaligned theme, right? So if I like make slot 1, right, nice and bold, unaligned, right? One of the things I'm trying to do are in the rules is that a card can have up to 2 origins, and that's the term I'm using for this, right? Each origin represents one of those tribes that we were talking about just a second ago, right? And the point of these is to make it where there can be some synergy between them, but you're not locked to one, right? This isn't Cardfight. This isn't like Magic the Gathering where you're stuck to a color, you're stuck to a group, you're stuck to a faction, right? You can build a deck that you want to play, right? But the problem is I have 13 things and there's only one that I have like actually named, and I'm like, uh-oh, which is. I'm just doing formatting stuff, right? Which is my Fae one, which I'm calling the Court of Avalon, right? Because fuck you, fuck you, right? I'll just name this like design, the card design document, right? Right. So the other options I have are undead, spellcasters, demons, you know, warriors and adventurers, modern day stuff, kaiju and massive monsters, elementals, dragonkin, sci-fi mechas in space, cute stuff / dream-esque creatures, and then unaligned cards, right? It's like undead, spellcasters, right? Demons, adventurers, modern day, kaiju, gods and clerics, elementals, dragonkin, sci-fi, dream, cute stuff, and then the unaligned. Right. So here's the problem I'm having, and if you guys could spare me your thoughts, right? And let me also change my title and everything, right? There we go. So I'm not particularly right. I'm not super like the main thing I'm struggling with right now is like in this category, right? Like I don't have a title for all the different themes like I do for the Fae. Right? So as a result, I don't have an idea what I would call them, right? Like I don't want to just call them the undead, the spellcasters, right? An example of this, like well, like I don't want to just call them the unaligned, right? Because I don't want to just have like even I want the theme of that to be what they are, not necessarily what they're called, right? So you'd want names for each faction. That's one thing, right? But like Bobo's suggestion about like having a graceful charity-esque card, right? Right, I could put in the unaligned group easily, just like as I could put like a counterspell type card. Because I don't mind. The point of the unaligned cards are to be cards that anybody can use, no questions, no problems, and their effects are fairly simple, right? But it also leaves room for, say, because of my rules that I'm putting down here, right? A card can have a max of 2 origins, right? And a card cannot have the unaligned origin with any other, right? So a card could be unaligned, or it could be like, I like that name, the Risen Legion, right? I actually really like that name. We'll put that down for now, right? And so ideally, like in this case, right? The idea then would become if a card can have two origins, what are the main two things that it would be inspired by, right? Like if I showed you well, I ain't just used to graveyard chamblers, right? Well, let's say for example, right? Let's use Zombie Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh, right? We know it's a zombie, so it'd be undead. But we also know it's a dragon. It's Dragonkin. So if I was to introduce a dragon zombie kind of card, it would be one of the cards that are dual origin, Dragonkin and Risen Legion. So mechanically, outside of being just like a card that might be decently powerful, right? It may have something that interacts with or supports both the Risen Legion and Dragonkin cards. Does that kind of make sense what I'm doing with the origin thing? And like Dark Ruler Hades is also from Yu-Gi-Oh! He's a demon, but is also known for his magic. Exactly. And it allows for like cards that support, cards that play into both multiple tribes, right? Not necessarily because they're just one thing or one cool thing, but they can bridge a mechanic, right? So let's say the Risen Legion is all about graveyard recursion, right? But let's say the spellcasters are all about, slinging spells from your hand. I'm not saying this is what they should do, but common generic concepts, right? What if Hadez's entire thing is like you tribute a monster, get a spell from your graveyard to your hand, right? That way it supports the spellcaster. Make it like a playback cost. Yeah, kinda. But like that's kind of the idea, right? This kind of stuff is, I want to play with this kind of stuff more, right? But like I want to have like a name, right? And so part of this is like figuring out what the mechanics are going to be of each faction as well, right? Before I start talking about like making actual cards, right? And then this way, if there's overlap, we can kind of see it a little more clearly written out, right? While on the line, we could put like, a card like this simple card, right? Like I could put down a lightning bolt card, right? Right? Just either do something to a monster or whatever, right? Cards that we can say are fairly generic, that almost any faction could use them and have it make perfect sense, right? Because of some powerful entity or some effect of this monster or that monster, right? Because tell me, how many in this like lineup of like ideas could you imagine throwing a fireball at you in some way, shape, or form? It might be napalm for a sci-fi person. It might be just the breath of fire from a dragon, right? It may be whatever. So let's put it like this. And I said let's limit it down to like three mechanics per faction, right? That way we can kind of focus down on what they want, right? The Fey one, I've already kind of had this concept of theft, steal, like theft and steal, right? And then like copy or clone effects. Like I think that's really cool. But I don't know what other effect I would give them, right? Like what could be their third thing, right? Make it tricky effects like MTG with them. Well, see, and I think that's cool. Cool as a concept, right? maybe like painful choice effects. Like that's what my mind drifts to, is like painful choices. Like you take this bad thing or that bad thing, right? But I feel that's more demon than anything, right? You'd also link them with adventures as the fair, tricky, greedy adventure. Well, see, that's the thing, right? That's what like a dual origin card could do, right? A card that affects both concepts or both mechanics, giving you some of that like bridging I was talking about, right? These, like, individually these factions could work on their own, but let's say there was an undead fairy card, right? What would that look like? What are the mechanics it would interact with? You see what I mean? So this is where like my thought pattern goes off. So like demons like have painful choice, right? And this isn't just like a mechanical like, oh yeah, no, fuck you always, right? Because like this doesn't have to be like they always have these effects necessarily. Like for example, kaiju is like I immediately think of like big brain stoppy and like power based effects. Galta primal hunger, yeah, kinda, right? Like and that's what I'm saying. Like I conceptually want to have some stuff like that in the conversation, but simultaneously have the ability for like let me give an example that might give you an idea of what kind of stuff I'm thinking of, right? If I was to pull out Ecclesia, right? Dogmatica Ecclesia. I specifically Dogmatica Ecclesia. Okay. What does she feel like, right? Where would her effects come from, right? Like graphically, I know what her theme is. I know what category she'd belong to. But what kind of effect would she have, right? To me, hi. Doing a little bit of card design talk because I. Yep.
Janice talking to
Yep. I did. Just a little bit.
You don't want it open?
I could have it open now. It was at the time when I closed it was a little cool. And yes, Cynical, you have it like 100% on what I would think of, right?
Yeah, the mom's upset. I'm not having the
Got it. Yeah, so she would Dogmatica Ecclesia would be Adventure Cleric in my thematics of it, right? But what part of her effect makes her cleric, and what part makes her adventurer? Do you see what I'm saying?
Do you want me to keep it closed or?
Oh no, that's fine, honey. You can have it open.
Alright.
I'm kind of like talking about this because I'm effectively assigning mechanics to things right now.
You're not playing.
I'm not playing Need for Speed anymore now. I kept crashing into stupid walls, and I didn't want to get mad at the game right now. So, So yeah, like what would you call, what part of her effect would you say is an adventure effect, and what would you say was a god effect or a clerical effect? The dogmatic story where like the church, her effect to get a dogmatic card to reach into that. Well, see, that's true, but that also could be like calling on the guild, or like the adventurers guild, right? So that's what I'm saying. So how would you split a card like this into its two parts, right? Because now you have specially summoning things from your deck or hand that fit that category, but you also have anti-extra deck stuff from Yu-Gi-Oh! Your search for recruiting from the guild? Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was thinking, right? So like you have the one part of her where she is clearly like an adventurer style, right? Where it's like recruiting from the deck or hand to the battlefield, right? Or stuff like that, right? And if I can get it down to these three, then card design starts to become a little bit better, right? Like cohesive card design with this. Party mechanics and all that. Yeah, kinda, the party mechanics. I do want to make it clear, I don't want slivers to accidentally exist.
What do you mean?
So one of the problems I had both with Masters of the Gathering, with certain Yu-Gi-Oh decks, with a certain person deck that I dealt with before, sliver mechanics show up because it says, oh, other slivers of this get this effect, right? I don't want one group to have the ability to play a sliver deck, right? Like, I don't want it to be like a whole mechanic where it's like, okay, all modern day factions get this, all modern faction today get this, like as their main gimmick, right? Like maybe have a couple cards here and there that act as that for each faction, but not all one faction get that effect. Have that effect come at a cost instead of it making it be like a lord effect. See, and that is an idea. Local Terrorizer, you know, I was listening to music and scrolling and realized I should complain to Spotify for not making you this week's hottest single. I appreciate that, but I'm not single. I'm married.
Hi. And yes, she is.
I am an artist. I actually do 3D modeling, and I do 3D modeling to make my own 3D models. I'm just not using my model right now. Okay, thank you. But, Drive by Riz, thank you.
Thank you, local terrorizer.
Thanks for the vibe check, Cynical, so I can get a drink and everything. Thank you for coming by. But yeah, I want to, like, so my goal is to, when I'm making this card game concept, I want to make sure that not only does each deck feel like it have its identity, and that's a big thing I'm worried about, right? But I also want to make sure that, sure, maybe there's some obvious like inspiration on some of them, like the kaiji, the big Godzilla monsters are obviously big, powerful, and get more powerful effects based on how big the thing is, right? But I don't want it to feel like they become the de facto best deck either, right? I'm very concentrated on this concept of balance between things because I want to make sure that if I build this seriously, people are gonna have fun with it, right? So if every deck has an identity and every deck has a mechanical identity, even the cards that sit between two factions aren't breaking one side's identity or the other, right? If I was to do let me put that down as like a note, right? Like the Lord effect you were talking about. What if we make a card in each faction where it's an anti-specific faction, like a cleric and god can have an anti-undead card? I think that's a little situational. Personally, I think that's a little situational. And I don't mean like specifically an anti-undead card, maybe the anti-mechanic, right? Was it Grafdigger's Cage that I think of? Yeah. Yeah, Grafdigger's Cage is kind of the mechanical idea that I think I think would be a better good example of like an anti-card, right? Because it'd be like, instead of it being an anti-undead card, right, is less of a I'm targeting you, the undead player, because fuck you, that's how, and more of a cool, all the cards that specifically have like, the recursion effects, playing from deck effects, it makes it a broader application without it saying it specifically hurts only one faction, right? Like, say from the Gods and Clerics set, right? I'll put it down after the top 3 categories, right? Can't play from non-hand cards, right? So you can't get stuff from your deck, you can't get stuff from your graveyard. Has to be played from the hand. And I think maybe having the Gods and Clerics be the police cards, right? I'm putting like police control effect in parentheses like Azorius is a cool idea. That's Deadass Dreadeth Magistrate. Yeah, that sounds familiar. Hold on. Is that what I think it is, Dacoria? From anywhere other than the hands. Yep. There you go. There you go. You got it. I mean, even then, right? It wouldn't say necessarily spells, though, right? One of the things specifically I have 4 card types: monster, relic, incantation, which is like your sorceries, your sorcery and rituals, which are your spells, your instants and sorceries, right? So like we could totally have the Gods and Clerics effectively play that Azorius stacks role, right? I think that could be done, right? There just have to be ways to counter around it. Maybe something like maybe not. What is that? What? It's in Magic the Gathering. There's an older card. I want to keep saying. I want to think it's called Stasis, where it basically says you can lock down the board, but for every turn you do, you have to pay a really steep cost. It's not, well, it'd be steeper than this, but right? No. nobody's in chat with me at the moment. Right. Actually, there's a way you could do this. Winter Orb with a cumulative upkeep kind of cost. Yeah. Right. That's actually kind of an idea. I'm gonna go take a quick trip to the bathroom, everybody. So if you want to keep putting ideas in the chat, Cynical, and this applies to everybody, right? You all are welcome to add in your input on this, some ideas, some concepts for the different factions. I will type up what our factions are, and if you have ideas for the names, that would be really helpful too. But I'm gonna go take us to the video rescreen, and I will give you guys that list.
Welcome. Welcome.
Alrighty, I'm back, everybody. Catching up with the little bit of chat right now, right? Field elementals could be grow larger with each passing turn, but remain fragile, like a small blaze becoming a raging inferno. That sounds cool.
What was the...
That's what I was reading. Right here. Or from me.
Yeah.
Me listing off the origin ideas that I have that I want to make sure that they all knew what's going on. We can also take Dragonkin as like the kobolds serving the much larger dragons. That could be resolute between Dragon King and declared gods, specifically gods for the larger dragons. I don't see that as a bad idea. So let me put it like this. Let me put it down here. Possibly fragile cards under elementals. And then under Dragonkin, kobolds as clerics to dragons. Right. I think it's a good idea, Cynical. Don't get me wrong. This is not dismissive. This is not saying no, I don't think this is a good idea. I honestly think it's a good idea. I just don't want to necessarily make every... I really want to try to avoid everything feeling like it can snowball. Like way too hard or out of control or without interaction. Because, I mean, in Undead, the Risen Legion, we're talking about recursion, right? Specifically monster recursion. Right? It's only ideas and concepts. I like the idea. I'm kind of yapping out loud because like this is... Yeah, I know I'm the streamer. I know that. I could totally turn this into I can be very blunt, like tell you this is a dictatorship, not a democracy. It's my stream, but that's mean. What's up? I have been working on my female voice, honey. It's just, it's slow. I do know I want the spellcasters to obviously be, well, casted spells, right? I think the ones I'm the most stuck on are modern day sci-fi, like dream and cute stuff, right? I think the big thing I want with dragons, like the Dragon King group, is I want them to be a lot of destroy focused effects. If that makes sense. Oh, that's perfectly fine, Cynical. Let me open up the room a little bit.
Hello.
Hey. Oh, let me put you to my ears.
Hi, Cynical.
Back to the TV I am?
You were back on the TV because of earlier. Yeah. Yeah. So, like, as it stands right now, right? Like, one of the things that's been going on, and there might be a way to zoom in the stuff a little bit. Yeah, that's a little bit better.
I can zoom it in on the actual, like...
Oh, no, I just figured out how to zoom in the sheet.
Itself. Ah, okay.
Yeah. So, as of right now, almost everything has at least one concept, right? The ones that are stuck right now are modern day, so like our equivalent of just like the Joe Schmo on the street, right?
The citizens and soldiers type stuff.
The citizens, the soldiers, the stuff like that, right?
Yes.
The elementals, which they're like possibly the fragile cards. I don't know how.
Like
I'm not sure how a fragile card would work with the system because this is not using attack and defense, for example. This is using one unified number.
Yeah, like the thing was when I was thinking elementals, I was back to my original addiction of Magic the Gathering. So, in terms of like a spellcaster and elemental card, the Young Pyromancer, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, you would make a 1/1 elemental creature token.
Right, and that's not a bad idea. Like a lot, I could imagine them having a lot of little effects like that for sure. But I don't know how effective that would be, right?
Yes.
That's why I'm
And
trying to give like everything 3 solid concepts first before I go start worry about like card design.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because with 3 solid card concepts for each category, that means there's 36 concepts, and then anything else that doesn't quite fit in there or is too simplistic for one or the other could be thrown in the, well, technically it's, I know it's 36 because it's 12 factions, 12 non-aligned, 12 aligned factions. I had my math right. It leaves room for open space kind of concepts, right?
Yeah.
So like we're talking about a graceful charity card, a counterspell type card, a lightning bolt card, things that anybody could play with without it being taken from them, right?
Yeah, like the generic spells, if I'm to put anything, it's like the skills in the Hearthstone.
Kinda, yeah. Just like the generic spells in Hearthstone.
Yeah.
Is kind of
Just
what I
like
want this
the
faction to
thing
be.
on the side.
Right? Useful things, helpful things, but they don't. You could technically build around a deck around it, but it wouldn't be as good necessarily without something very uniquely specific. An example I could use from that is like way back in early Hearthstone, the Catan decks. Like Catan was in everybody's deck. And anybody could run it. Right? But it was different for each deck archetype. Right? So, but the idea is that if I can get three concepts down for each, then building cards for those concepts would allow me to then go, okay.
Or even Legion could actually have like just grave control too.
See, but the thing is, I don't want to make Undead just the grave control deck, right? That's why I'm being a little bit more specific, right? Like, specifically, it's monster recursion. Right?
Yeah, like if we were to put spell recursion, that would probably be in spellcasters since it's like they're restudying the spell.
And see, that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, you could put specifically spell recursion, right?
Or as you previously stated, them as the incursions or whatever they were.
They're called invocations and rituals in this system.
Invocations and rituals, yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Spells is a good way to just shorthand it for now, right? The thing for me, I think the best way to do it would be like have my brain is going like this, right? Gods and clerics should be kind of like the stacks control, right? It should have graveyard hate, right? That way it doesn't allow for It still plays into the
full-blown
anti.
combos between like the Undead Legion and the spellcasters who are actually openly using their spells and
Right.
cards from the grave.
Mm-hmm. Right. But it also hurts anybody who's trying to snowball from the deck too much, right? Like the adventurers.
And
Right.
demons.
And the demons, right? It allows them to have a little bit of anti that, but it doesn't stop everybody else from having an anti to them, right?
Actually, speaking of demons, we could actually kind of, since Kaiju's already there, I'm actually thinking like using Lava Golem and Kaijus from Yu-Gi-Oh as like the demon cards, forcing your opponent to sacrifice their own creatures so you can get your demons.
Well, see,
The cheaty
that's
kind of things.
well, so I feel that would fit better with dragons, and specifically, or the dragonkin specifically, and it's because I want them. It's not sacrificing in this case, right? Mostly because you're not going to be dealing with indestructible in this game in the way I'm making my game. I don't have a name for it yet either. That's kind of one of the biggest things I can come up with later, right? But I don't want indestructible. I don't want to be the equivalent of indestructible in Magic, where you have to sacrifice around it, you have to hexproof around it, or whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't want to have to add like rules fixing text to every single card, which is one of the reasons why in the base rules I've put here, just because it kind of pisses on that, right? Unless otherwise listed, any uniquely named card can only activate their ability once per turn. So from the get-go, you know you're going to get that card once per your turn, and your opponent can get that once per turn. Right? That way it stops cards like, for example, Unceasing Top, right? Let's use Unceasing Top as an example from Magic. You know how effective Unceasing Top is in Commander, right?
What?
Have you ever heard of the card Unceasing Top?
You mean Sensei's Divining Top?
Thank you. I was saying the Slay the Spire relic.
What is it actually called, honey?
It's called Sensei's Divining Top.
I was like, what the heck are you talking about?
Why am I thinking a Slay the Spire relic?
His Ren was just...
Probably because Ren was just playing Slay the Spire. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So imagine a card like Sensei's Divining Top, right? You know how abusable that card has been.
To the point where it was one of the very cards in Infinite for Bolas Citadel and freaking Aetherflux Reservoir.
Or Aetherflux Reservoir, or any of these cards where like the act of repeatable effects is the reason why those games got infinitely broken, right?
Yeah, the Infinite Storm count to put in like Grape Shot and such.
So let's use Aetherflux because this is going to actually be a better example, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if I told you could only gain 1 life per turn from this card?
Then that would be so hammered down and no one would freaking use it.
But you only have 10 life.
That is also fair because we need to understand that this card was primarily used in
a 40 life point game.
Commander, 40 life.
Mm-hmm. It was
and usually longer turns, so you would have the Dividing Top and Bolas Citadel, which is from 3 separate sets entirely.
Right. See, and that's what I'm saying. So, like, imagine you could only gain 1 life per turn from this card in any way, shape, or form. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And imagine that pay 50 life would then cost you the card.
It would be a full-blown blast the card itself to deal that big damage.
Right. So as a result, a card like Aether Flux Reservoir wouldn't be able to go infinite with that one ruling I said, that any card can only uniquely activate once per turn per player, effectively. So you could have your Aether Flux activate, and I could have my Aether Flux activate, but we'd only be able to both gain 1 life per turn. You see what I mean?
Hard once per turns.
It's, unless listed otherwise, they're hard once per turns. Every effect. Which means if you somehow, let's say the Graceful Charity card, right?
Mhm.
If you played Graceful Charity, and then you somehow drew into another Graceful Charity, and you try to play that Graceful Charity card again, you would have wasted one of your plays for the turn, because you couldn't get that second Graceful Charity effect. Which is why I was saying to, like, when Bubba was suggesting just a straight draw 2 kind of card, it's not a bad idea because it's a hard once per turn effect. I don't think it would be broken, but I would tie it to something a little bit more involved rather than just here's a pure value card that takes up 1 of 10 cards, 1 to 10, 20, 1 to 10 to 20 cards for the deck size. Right? Does that make sense?
Make those kind of larger cards part of a faction or actual full-blown strategy instead of having it just be unaligned, as you said, the generics.
Mm-hmm. Right. Honestly, I like the idea of symmetrical scheming as a card in the demons category. Right? Right. I like that kind of card, and I think that would fit really well in the Oh, I know what symmetrical scheming does. It's a scheming symmetry, right? Right. Choose 2 target players, so you'd be you and your opponent typically. Each of them searches their library for a card, shuffles their library, and puts the card on top of it. Right? It is a really good card. It's a fantastic card. Right? But it also lets, but the trade-off is that you set yourself up for a nasty combo based on what's in your hand your next turn. Versus what your opponent has for their next turn. Right? I think it's a cool card. I actually run it in my Nicol Bolas decks because it's such a cool card. You know?
This actually does play into kind of the demons where it actually play a way of risk versus reward.
Right, and I think the idea of like painful choices of like the opponent has to do something nasty or they have to do another thing nasty, and then deal cards like both of us get rewarded in some way, shape, or form, but I have more abilities to take advantage of that, right?
The tempt cards from Magic the Gathering, tempt
right?
Discovery and such.
That was the card I'm thinking of. I could just imagine a symmetrical scheming where it's a tempt style card, right? Actually, that would be really fun as a concept. I get to search 1 card, right, from my deck, put on top of my library. If you choose to take the temptation, you can do the same as well, but I get to draw 1 card afterwards.
Freaking tempt with bunnies.
Tempt with bunnies? Hold on.
No, that's not even a card. I think that's just
tempt with bunnies. Bloomburrow Commander. It's an actual card. Tempting offer. Draw a card and create a 1/1 white rabbit creature token. Then each opponent may draw a card and create a 1/1 rabbit creature token. For each opponent who does, you draw a card and create a 1/1 rabbit creature token. I mean,
okay, that's kind of fucking funny.
That's kind of the thing I was thinking about for like the demons, right? Cards literally that are the tempting offers, right? Allow the demons to get some extra advantage if you want some of their advantage as well, right?
it's also thematically accepting because the demons are tempting you with their deal.
Mm-hmm. And then I think at the end of it, right? This is my personal thing. I think they should have life cost cards, right?
Make them be like the black color in Magic the Gathering. That makes sense
In
too,
a
because they also
sense,
take up the black cost.
right? So like have it like you pay X amount of life, you can do an effect. Grizzlebrand's a good example of that, right?
Grizzlebrand's a perfect example. He is a demon in Magic the Gathering who's a
I mean,
giant
yeah,
27
and I'm pulling up
7.
I'm pulling up Grizzlebrand so everyone who understands it, right? It's like paying 7 life, draw 7 cards, is iconic for that, right? But if I put another legendary demon, the other one I'm trying to think of is, I want to say he's like Runescarred.
Runescar is just a search your deck.
Runescarred is the other one I'm thinking of. Razakath.
Razakath, yeah. He Bells and Lock is hilarious in Momir Vig.
Right. Razakath is the one I was thinking about. You also have Be'lakor from the 40k group. You draw X cards and lose X life, where X is the number of demons you control, stuff like that.
Omnixilis, Captive.
Omnixilis, Shilganar here, as I know this is a custom. At least this looks like a custom.
Sacrifice removal?
Mm-hmm. But instead of it making sacrifice, you make it like you make it more of a life cost, right? Ideally, like the demons are all about spending their life to do stuff, right? Meanwhile, if I'm gonna do a sacrifice, I probably tie that more into either like dragons, because you're sacrificing to the dragon, right? Such as you're feeding the goblins to the dragon, right? Or you're sacrificing like your artifacts to appease the dragon lord, you know, stuff like that. And this way, there's some like natural inclination between some of the different factions to forcing the opponents to sacrifice.
I said that earlier for demons when I was saying like kaiju's from Yu-Gi-Oh and such.
Yeah, I meant, Bubba, that was mentioned actually earlier with Cynical, and I did mention that was going to be more along the lines of Dragonkin, in my opinion, because I want the dragons to kind of be like, in a weird way, I kind of want Dragonkin and Kaiju to be opposing forces, right? Like Dragonkin, like the Dragonkins are big removal effects. They sacrifice small things for the big things, right? Whereas Kaiju, the Kaiju category is more of the like your classical big green stompy fight effects. Ow, 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 ow. I got a weird cramp. Oh no, I'm good. I like I said, I got a weird cramp out of nowhere. Oh no, I got it. I did get it. I searched out for it. The demons have opponents that are forced to sacrifice. That's actually kind of bubble. I've already actually put that down actually as painful choices. Right? I actually have that concept already down. So, like, for example, they could be forced to choose between paying 1 life or sacrificing a non-token creature. Right? And if you only have 10 life...
per se.
Right? What's
what
up?
about non-token, non-land creatures?
Well, we're not worrying about lands because lands don't exist in this game, for example. But
I'm sorry,
no, you're using magic concepts, and we're talking about like 4 different card games concepts.
Yeah.
But it's applicable.
Are you doing something like lands?
I'm not making a land like a forced resource mechanic for every single player.
Alright, because you've got lands in Magic, and you have Pokemon.
Right.
I really don't know any other one.
Where would returning to
First
hands
one with
effects?
the mana, the gaining per turn.
Mm-hmm. Right. Where would returning to hands? Like, as in, like, returning to your opponent's hands or returning to your own hand?
If it's retreat to
Or
your,
just in
if it's
general.
returning to your own hand, we could put adventurers for retreat into the other day.
Right. You know what? I could see that with adventurers, right? Have them be like return to own hand, and then have them have like maybe like a dash style effects.
Yeah, actually, that sounds like an ambush type effect.
Dash, ambush, ETB effects. That's the term I'm looking for. ETB. Make adventurers very ETB focused.
Man, those guys would love Panharmonicon.
Promotion mechanic or some way to buff that. Honestly, I think that would work really well in like the modern day mechanic. That's something we've actually had no mechanics for yet.
Actually, yeah,
You know?
make it like buffing your army with better equipment.
Buffing your army with better equipment?
Yeah, so say like we have the one soldier creature who is just using a standard 1911. Give him a freaking assault rifle and boom.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I think a promotion mechanic in modern day sounds like it would be fun. I just don't know how it would be implemented as of right now.
What if we make it like a mass in Magic the Gathering?
I don't think a mass is the one I want to think. I want to say, is it renowned? Renown is the one I think of, right?
If someone lands their attack, yeah.
Think of the level up mechanics like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic. I think Yu-Gi-Ohs are a little too complex for this game, and for two reasons. You only have 10 cards, right? You only have 10 to 20 cards.
Level up is kind of strange in Yu-Gi-Oh! Since each of the cards kind of had a different way to level up. Like Silent Swordsman, he had to fight, but Armed Dragon, he just needed to stay around.
Right. Or like Horus, where like you have to use specific cards to do that, right? It's hard for me, in my opinion. I think the level up mechanic of Yu-Gi-Oh is a little hard, and I feel like the original level up mechanics of Magic are too complex. Like, I liked them, don't get me wrong, but how would you apply that in a way that is fair and interesting? Because I'll be honest, there's a lot of level up mechanics in Magic the Gathering that were interesting and fair, but not good enough to set up, right? Like, so I feel like Renown is more of the idea what we're thinking of, right?
Yeah, like
is whereas like you, as long as you meet the requirement for it, you can effectively boost it or promote it, right? Whereas
Actually,
Renown
like,
specifically says combat damage, right? Don't get me wrong. I think the Renown style of promotion would be like, if I was to theoretically make a card, right? Like says, if you start your turn with this monster on the field, it gains +1 power and the following effect, right?
Gee, Seth, mind if
What's
I
up?
send you some? Mind if I send you something over our DMs real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like I actually like this is my ace card that I made a while ago. And like, it may be a similar idea. I had to change the photo. But like Inspire 1, where Inspire is uh, uh, for that one turn effect. It would also go with your once per turn effect.
Yeah, I mean, that would be fair. That'd be a fair example, right?
Yeah, like, he would be my ace monster as you see here. Necrosius the Risen King, so he would go with the Risen army.
So conceptually, there's the other mechanic that I was talking about with like the leader style cards called, I'm calling them rulers, right? They'd be in your deck.
So the
they'd
rulers would be the lords.
Your lords, your legendary creatures, your big combo piece, like your dark magician, your blue eyes white dragon, your flame wingman, whatever you want to call it, right? Your big play around, typically your big play around cards, right? And they wouldn't be able to be split between two origins because they'd be faithful to their one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you focus on one of the a couple of the mechanics with your ruler? Yeah. Could it blend between two? For sure. But it wouldn't be a card that would necessarily work with any of the others, right? Not unless you have some really interesting and crafty way to build your deck, right? And whereas some of the excessively powerful ones, right? And just as an example of an excessively powerful effect, let's say we have Atraxa.
Well, are you talking about Platinum Imperium?
Platinum Angel? I don't see how
Platinum
it would
Angel, be... Platinum Imperium, Pure Soul, Kirin.
Is it Predator's voice or is it the original Atraxa? Why am I saying it's Atraxa? It's, what is her name? Elish Norn, yeah. Imagine an Elish Norn kind of effect, right? And specifically not the original Elish Norn, but like the new Elish Norn. The Mother of Machines, right?
The one who acted like a Panharmonicon.
Mm-hmm. Right. She could be an example of an ace monster representing the ability to repeat an effect, right? But she would limit it specifically to her faction only, right? So instead of it being Elish Norn for any and all permanents, right? She might say only sci-fi cards can be repeated with her effect, right? The idea would be that it's a powerful effect,
but it's specific to their group.
Right, only their group, right? So it wouldn't apply to any of the unaligned cards that we've talked about over here. Like, you would not be able to get 2 Graceful Charities, 2 Lightning Bolts, whatever, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Regarding the concept of, haven't been tapped in, did you happen to note that the archetype with the drown mechanic I mumbled about? I didn't mark which one we put that for, Ren. I am so sorry. I'm gonna need you to. I'm gonna have to look up the drown mechanic again, unless we talked about it purely in voice, honey. I think we talked about it purely in voice. Shit.
Did you give us a concept of what it was, Ren?
I was about to say, do you think you could rewrite it for me, hun? I'll be honest, but I will say this, Bubba. I think you can't lose the game cards would be fine in this game if they had a condition, right? And the main reason I say that is because I don't like ubiquitous or like all-consuming versions of those cards, right? Because like as expensive as Platinum Angel, let's use Platinum Angel for this purposes of this example, right? You can't win the game. Your opponents can't. You can't. You can't lose the game, and your opponents can't win. Feels bad, just off rip. And it's a 7-cost colorless card, so it has a little bit of protection in that manner. Hey Ryan.
So so what you're thinking is like a Cloudsteel Kieran. In Magic the Gathering, Cloudsteel Kieran is a 1 white and 2 artifact creature equipment Kieran card, flying, but it does automatically have the you can't lose the game. But you need to equip it onto a creature with its reconfigure of 5.
Well, see, that's a good example, right? But I was also thinking of more along the lines of maybe the conditional saying you can't lose the game due to combat or due to spells.
Make it specifically against this specific kind of archetype.
So, for example, right? Let's say we make it an item, right? A relic. Relics are basically the artifact equivalent in this game I'm making, right? If we make it a relic, saying you can't lose to combat damage, right? Would then be the equivalent. Would be allowed to say, "Hey, DMATs," from having 0 life would be more right. I do want to say specifically in this case, DMATs, right? From having 0 life is a little bit more ubiquitous than I would like it to be, because and there's probably a better way to word what I'm trying to say, but I don't want it. I'm my 4 thoughts at once. Let's say them in order. I don't like you can't lose, your opponents can't win cards very often, unless there's something hindering or preventing it from being so unanimously effective, right?
Oh, Bobo actually said something that I can actually agree with. It's usually until end of turn or so long as they are on the field. So
I know that's usually how it would go, right? Until end of turn would be like a ritual you play. Would be kind of akin of the Teferi's protection effect, right? Which is a good card.
Last turn in Yu-Gi-Oh, where it is just like you get an additional turn, but you immediately lose after the turn.
Right? No. Right. I like those kind of effects. From having 0 life is interesting. Don't get me wrong, I think it's interesting. But I think I would probably add a caveat onto that. It would be like, if you would deck out during this while this is on the field, you lose regardless. Right? So that way you're still on a clock, right? You could add, see, like those kind of cards effects I think are really cool. And I personally, honestly, I feel like this conversation of these kind of effects, I think would fit elementals best at this point, right? These kind of semi-primordial effects I feel like these kind of semi-primordial effects would be better for this the idea of the elementals, right? Like high power, high cost, right? So like
the natural and all out.
Actually, immediately my brain thinks of honestly, I think it might be best. Yeah, no, I think elementals is the idea, this best idea, right? Where we have these these big effects but big costs. Right? Extra turns plus you lose kind of effects, right, are kind of like fit perfectly in that concept. I would have made the elementals immune to damage at the bigger side. That's a possibility, right? I don't think immunity to damage. Maybe have the elementals have like an immunity effect of some sort in their as their like their base kit kind of thing, right? So like some might be immune to spells, some might be immune to melee attack, like combat, right?
Also, I must ask if we are doing like combat, are we doing like Digimon where they exchange blows?
No, it's closer to Yu-Gi-Oh, where it is attacker to defender.
Okay.
And then just bigger number wins because it's one number.
Yeah, that's why I was saying Digimon, because the thing about them is that they just have their DP, which is their power, and if a higher DP attacks a lower DP, that the lower DP is deleted.
Yeah. They do exchange blows. I just had to double check my rules. It's like attacker to defender, and then whoever has the highest power wins and destroys the other. Hi, Q-Bean.
Thank you.
So like the idea behind this would be like, if I have a card with a power of 5, right? Unless there's another creature that somehow had an effect that beats power 5, which power 5s are max for the system and 1 is the lowest, right? Then power 5 would be like massive wins, right? But if both are power 5, neither win. They both survive, right?
Unless you make a clash effect like you have in Yu-Gi-Oh.
In the scenario, right? Let's say you would have like a devastating. I'm using devastating as my word for it. Let's say a creature is power 5 and devastating, or a creature is power 5 and feeble. If they're devastating, then that means they're effectively 5 plus. But if they're feeble, they're 5 minus, effectively.
Okay, so devastating is like in a terms a +1, where feeble is a -1 if it's specifically in a clash effect.
If they would be matched, it's the +1 -1, right? So let's say if it's a power 5 feeble versus a power 4, power 5 still wins. You know?
Yeah, because it's automatically the higher number, but if it's specifically a 5/5,
The 5/5 with feeble loses.
a base 5/5 is better than the 5/5 feeble.
Exactly. You got it. So like so ideally that's kind of what I'm doing with combat, right? So like your kaijus, as I was putting down over here on this, is like going to be your creatures that are going to lean higher on that scale, but may not have as many big effects, right? They might not have many of those effects unless they have a certain power level, right?
If I'm to say the kaijus would be anything in Magic the Gathering, it is Gruul.
Kaiju is green. Kaiju's not green and red. It's not green and blue. It's not green and black. It's green. It's big. I literally put in the quotations, "big green snappy." And the whole point of that is to make it where it's like it's very clearly the kaiju is meant to be old Godzilla was hopping around, right?
What's the card I'm thinking of? Muragonda petroglyphs or whatever?
I don't know.
Is it? Yeah, Muragonda petroglyphs. Hey, creatures with no abilities get +2/+2. It's from Time Spiral.
Aragon?
Muragonda. Muraganda.
Muragonda petroglyphs. I don't think I've seen this card.
Yeah, it's an old card from Time Spiral.
I mean, yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking of, right?
Straight up, no abilities get better.
Mm-hmm.
They are no effects, just slap you across the fucking face.
Mm-hmm. Like, this is kind of conceptually what I was talking about. But this is also definitely printed during a time where, like, big creatures didn't have effects.
Yeah.
You know?
This was back with, like, Island Worm and such.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, for sure, for sure. But yeah, that's a good idea. By the way, I did see you, D-Mats. I'm not ignoring you. I really do appreciate you hopping in and saying hi. Yeah, the reason why I'm trying to disperse the kind of like these effect concepts right now is because then I can start doing cards and going from there. It's just like the two that I feel like have the most difficulty for me figuring out are the sci-fi and the dream and cute stuff, right? And elementals by extension, because like elementals,
they are
like,
a rather open concept in all reality.
The four that are having the most problems are like modern day elementals, sci-fi, dream and cute, right? Sci-fi, the ones I always think of with sci-fi is like Token Swarm, right? You have the Warhammer 40Ks where there's thousands of Marines all the time. You have the Clone Wars and all of the clones and all of the soldiers and the countless monsters, right, that are swarming the planet. You have the Xenomorphs and the Hive, right?
Yeah, everything is just a form of like spawning.
It's massive wars all the time. So I feel like sci-fi would be the best for the Token Swarm concept.
And honestly, like dream / cute stuff, it's the cute stuff that's pulling me off, because like when I think dream in a card game, I automatically think Dream Mirror, which is swapping back and forth between dream and nightmare.
Well, see, that's not what I was referring to. I was saying more of the concept of like cutesy, like chibi stuff, but
Yeah,
also
it's the happy dreams.
Happy Dreams, the tunes of Yu-Gi-Oh, I want to say, are they the Yummies or whatever they're called?
Oh, actually, what if we make it like the Ghost Tricks?
Well, like that's what I'm saying. Ghost Trick also is kind of in that same vein, right? My idea is like the idea is that the graphically the concept is cute stuff, right? Like that's kind of what I was talking about, right? When it comes to this, it's like this is meant to be like your cute aesthetic, right? But I like the idea of adding like a peekaboo.
Melfies.
Melfies?
It's another Yu-Gi-Oh archetype, where there's actually a card called Melfi Peekaboo.
I'm not familiar with Melfi.
Cutesy animals.
Aesthetically, exactly what I'm looking for, right? Like that Yummies, Ghost Tricks, right?
Yeah, like the whole thing about Melfies is that they're just little cute forest creatures.
Mm-hmm.
And look at their boss monster, Melfi Mommy.
Hmm.
Like her whole
Okay.
thing is that she
I do like the
actually
idea,
just
this
uses-
Pierce effect, right? Actually, ooh, wait a second. I just have a concept now.
Also, what if we? This is dreams. What if we actually make it like they can't naturally be destroyed?
Have you ever heard of a card called Fogbank?
Fogbank, I know that card too well. Immune to damage.
Well, like the whole thing is like it can't deal damage and it can't be damaged, right?
Make the dreams the walls.
Like have their thing be like all about defensive stuff because you can't hurt a dream. Right?
Bunch of dream. See how that goes.
Right? Like the idea is that they play with they do much more like the mind and like they're going to be alternate win conditions.
Oh no. Dream Zodia. Exodia?
Right?
Alternate win cons come from the dreams. Actually,
And I'm gonna say because
okay,
like the
now
whole thing, the
remember
concept
the
of
Sumo
cute
Dice
stuff.
game.
Because I want to do like the concept of cute stuff and like healing your soul, they are going to be the life gain also.
Oh god, it's yellow from Digimon.
I haven't played Digimon, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, like the thing about the yellow color in Digimon is that it's primarily the deck that actually does the whole like gaining life. Taking cards from your deck and putting it into your life, which would then be used later on if you were to take damage. Those cards would be used in defense of you before they get sent away.
Also, it's really funny because conceptually, I just thought about if you had a stuff that had the Dream Cute stuff with demons in it, you could do life gain, life loss, aristocrat stuff. But it'd be some very, very silly, like they're demons.
Dream demons are freaking Orzhov.
I think that's really funny as a concept. I think that's a really funny concept.
That could reach into the nightmares I was talking about.
Right?
Dream demons being the nightmares.
Yeah, so that's kind of the other thing, right? I was looking at this like and going, okay. Like, okay, cool. Like I immediately, as soon as I thought about them, I'm like, what do they want to try to do a pacifist win if they're dreams?
Make it a group hug kind of deck.
And that's why I was thinking, like, okay, Fog Bank, alternate win conditions, life gain, they're not combatants. Their main thing is not being a combatant at that point. So you would add in things like a Toon World, like a Toon World ruler, like the idea of not of like Toon World being like where you have to have it on the field to have tunes on the field, right?
So kind of like a Toon Kingdom type effect.
Is that the new one?
Yes, that's the field spell one.
Okay, maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Toon Kingdom. Yeah, your opponent cannot target Toon monsters you control with effects. If a Toon monster would be destroyed by value, you can banish one card face down for each of those monsters instead. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of, right? ways to make your dream monsters stay on the field. I'm gonna correct that then. So that way they
You
can
would
be
just
on
call
the
it
field.
Kingdom Toon World because it basically is a better Toon World.
It's a better Toon World, don't get me wrong. But I like that conceptually better. Because that means it plays into the idea of, like, yeah, dreams can't last forever. Right? And if you're
That's also
permanently losing
why
cards
I
out of your
was-
deck, right?
Yeah, like
You can't
if
guarantee.
you're losing those effects steadily
Mm-hmm.
because you're slowly waking up, the dream's over.
Right. Because the thing is that if you would just start your turn, if you have no cards in your deck, you could shuffle your graveyard into your deck and lose 1 life, and then progressively lose more life each turn. So like it'd be 1 life, then 2 life, then 3 life, then 4. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you may be the life gain deck at that point, but you can only take so much per turn and win.
It is a cumulative upkeep, as we previously mentioned.
Yeah, it's a cumulative upkeep, and if you have no cards to shuffle, then you're always paying that life every turn. Which means that 1 life becomes 2, that 2 life becomes 3, that 3 life becomes 4. By that point, you've already paid 10 life in 4 turns. You see what I mean? You have to wake up. Which plays into that thematics on top of that.
You may enjoy, you must inevitably wake up and face the world itself.
Exactly, and facing reality means you have to lose. Like thematically, that just feeds exactly what I wanted for the Dream Creatures.
From what was previously the hardest thing for you to think of, suddenly became the easiest.
Right? I was like, wait a second. Hold up. All I could think of is adding a Kafka-esque card. Just so he can go hopes, dreams. Where do they come from? Where do they go? Right? And have it be like a whole concept of him, instead of you gaining life from those cards, they deal damage to your opponent.
Make it freaking Kirby beam attack.
Right, just like have an idea, like that guy be that ruler, effectively turns your life gain into burn against your opponent as an option. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Also, that does stem into the concept of making a dream a nightmare.
Uh-huh. Like like I said, immediately we have a solution there, right? So now we're just missing like a couple mechanics here and there, right?
Hmm.
See, I know we're talking about sacrifice effects, right?
Would Dragonkin go to Edict?
I don't think edicts with Dragonkin would be good. I mean, they are they're the destroy and sacrifice stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
I feel like I think elementals would be better. Okay, hear me out. All of the stuff I think of elementals, right? When I talk about like elementals and magic, right? Let's go to elementals.
Omnath Locus of Rage.
Well, all of them are fairly like powerful warping effects in every version they've been introduced in some way, shape, or form, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for some of the early ones or the low rarity ones. Let me make that clear, right?
Yeah, Air Elemental is a 4/4 for 5 flying.
Well, like, let's just take Earthquake Dragon, for example. Right? It's a 10/10 that just slowly gets cheaper the more you play it, right? It's massively powerful. Right?
Phylath was a freaking swarmer.
Mm-hmm. Phylath was a swarmer. Animar. Primordially
That dude was
protected
a-
from... I feel like this is what example I mean. I'm talking about a primordial effect of like protection from white and black whenever you cast a creature spell, right? This is what I meant more like something big and breaks the typical rules, right?
That's why I was feeling more the natural effect.
Mm-hmm.
You can't face me with your spells because I'm just pure nature.
Right, so like immunity style effects, right? Right.
Yeah.
Um.
I saw a freaking card I want to build.
Which one?
Ashling the Limitless.
Oh, that Ashling, yeah. Ashling had some
I know
really
it's
good
in a
cards come out
commander deck,
recently.
but fuck's sake, it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. But like that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like a lot of elementals. There's one I'm looking for that's a kind of good example of what I'm talking about. Where is it? It's not the Cavaliers. It's not the Ancient.
Do you remember what it's like?
Well, I'm trying to find its image to pull up on stream. Like Diamond Weapon here from the Final Fantasy set is a good example of kind of what I'm talking about, where it's like, if not for the fact of like the spell costs because magic's mono thing, it just says immune to damage, right? That was like the immunity effect I was thinking of, but I was talking about a card like Eridu, right? Like I said, I didn't want to have a sliver effect specifically, like a sliver group, but I feel like elementals would be the best, like lording group, right?
Yeah. All of them are just a bit of nature, so they would likely take after the elements around them.
And I specifically would want to make sure that their effects would not be functional with elementals, right? Unless they not, and I don't mean like function to just not with elementals, right? I mean, how do I explain it in a way that's, I'm trying to prevent it from being a sliver effect, right?
What if you make it like there's like a subcategories per elemental where it is like a season?
See, I'm trying to avoid adding more categories to this, because adding a subcategory to that makes it even more difficult.
Fair.
Right. Like, I really don't want to add in... I don't want to add in specifically slivers, right? Because that's one of the mechanics I think hurts Magic or any card game design functionally on a deep level, right?
Yeah, like that. I was thinking because of like the seasons elementals, because then it's not like it has the sliver-ish effect, but it only affects those elementals that it shares a category with.
Well, like that, and see, I think that's a cool concept, realistically, but at that point, you're adding now 4 more factions right here.
Yeah.
And I want to avoid that, right?
Yeah, it was just an idea.
No, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think
But
I
you're
think it's
trying
the
to
fit that
keep it
doesn't
simple.
fit here, right?
Yeah, to best keep it simple, we shouldn't add the 4 seasons.
Mm-hmm. It's also to try to keep word counts a little bit smaller, right? Because then you'd have to be looking at cards where it says like, oh, you could fight another Dogmatica except Dogmatica Ecclesia. But like, something's up here, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other idea I think of with like elementals, right, is not necessarily Big Green Stompy, but what is it? God, its name is escaping me and it's on the tip of my tongue.
You thinking about a specific elemental?
I don't know why it's doing that, right?
But are you talking about the incantation monsters?
Not incantation monsters.
Evoke?
No, I said like anger, like where if they're in your graveyard, you get an effect.
Yeah, those are the incantations.
They're not incantations.
Incarnations? I know which
Incarnations is what I'm talking about, but it's a specific cycle of them, right?
Yeah, incarnation. Okay, I confuse incarnation with incantation.
Yeah, no. Incarnation's the right creature type. But like the original incarnation cycle is what I'm thinking of. Like Valor, Wonder, Filth, Anger, and Brawn, right?
Yeah,
and by
having them
extension,
give that
Genesis and
ability
Glory.
If you have that specific land on your field.
Well, but I'm saying like if it's in your graveyard, if it is, you know what I mean? Not necessarily like a recursion effect per se, but like
the benefiting winds. Give it the tailwind while it's in the field, in the grave.
Right. I don't want to call it a not on field effect, but that's kind of what it is. But I don't want it to be it's a tough set of words I'm trying to think of right now.
How would you actually put in the grave effects in one word?
I would say it would be like lingering effects, right?
Yeah, lingering effects does sound like a good word.
I mean,
because
these are
despite them being gone, it is the lingering winds.
Right. I think lingering or emblem-like effects, I think, are the best way to say it. Because like a lot of things that are elemental have some sort of lords related effect to it.
Like the two Chandras from Dominaria, I think.
Yeah.
M20?
Yeah. Like something that triggers based on something you do rather than just a passive, like, right. Okay, Ren just sent me the Drown card, which I like very much Undead Legion coded, right?
Drown is the Risen Legion. Okay.
Yeah, drown is the drown keyword that he was talking about. And effectively, it removes the card from being shuffled into the deck. It's effectively an exile effect. But specifically from the graveyard, right?
Yeah, kind
But it doesn't just explicitly remove it from the game, kind of thing, right?
Rest in peace.
It's less rest in peace, right? Okay. I like the idea of tying it to the Resident Legion because, you know, like the people who have drowned in the ocean and all that, right? They can't be dredged up, right? So if a card has been drowned, effectively you put a counter on it and it removes it from being able to. I guess with Yu-Gi-Oh, they're meant to be ancient battles that took place. Magic, you have whatever they have to do over there for game lore. You can guide you in how you want the game to feel or what fantasy you want to fill. This conservative framework. Well, see, that's kind of the thing, Rectal. That's why we're approaching this more as a, what do I want to give them in unison with thematics, right?
Yeah, that's kind of why I thought of the concept where each
The problem is that elementals as a concept is very, very hard to fill conceptually, right? Because elementals are fire, elementals are water, they're wind, they're earth, they're the nature, they're the metaphysical, they're the everything, they're cosmic, they're it. So trying to find a way to give them an identity in this concept
from, each Magic the Gathering elemental wasn't enough.
Right? Giving them an identity is kind of important.
Oh.
And since I have 13 factions, I want to give each of them at least a starting identity. Right? This is where, like, the whole thing of, like, as soon as it came together, dreams and cute stuff mechanically becomes, like, it can make everything feel very disconnected, as none of these archetypes will feel like they have anything else in mind other than that themselves. And see, that's where we're talking about Rectal a little bit, right? So that's why we're giving not just one or two, but we're giving three, and then as like a baseline. And any card can be designed with up to two of these origins in mind, right? So let's say, like, in this dreaming cute stuff in the sci-fi, because we have them both on the screen right here, right? Sure, they have, like, fog bank, defensive ideas, life gain, alternate win conditioning ideas, right? But they can also take from the sci-fi with, like, trample, overflow, token storm-esque effects, as it stands right now. We'll also put, like, equipment down here, right? Because that feels thematically appropriate.
Yeah, the sci-fi blasters and such.
Right. So as a result, like, it's not that there's not going to be a framework or that they can't be interconnected, but I want to make sure that they each have their own identity before I worry about cards that bleed between them. Right?
Such as how we previously mentioned with combining demons and dreams, making the demons be like the nightmares of the dreams.
Right, and that we were just literally saying that. Like, demon cards are like painful choices, tempts, and cards that cost you life to play them. Whereas dreams are all about going to be more about gaining life and alternate win cons. So playing between those two will be about, like, balancing your life total and stuff like that. Ideally,
you put the perfect example with Kafka making your own life gain become burn for your opponents.
Mm-hmm. So as a result, like, trying to make these identities in my sense, and like we mentioned kobolds, they're kind of like clerics to dragons in a lot of ways, so then why not treat them like
They're
that?
always honoring the dragons as if they were gods themselves, so.
Mm-hmm. So, like, this is where we're like, where my design space brain is going, but it's also struggling on some of them, right?
So if you're looking into the
I have a
archives,
basic
you
system
already
made.
the system.
Yes, Rectal. I have a basic system made up, ready to go, to be able to play. It's let me be very blunt, it's very simple, it's very keyword heavy, but the point of the keywords is to try to limit the number of cards on it. Kind of like a perfect, it's a mixture of a couple different things, but it has a lot of perfect draw spirit in it, for sure. It's just, as a result, I want to make sure that making this, I want to have this forethought on when I'm making these cards, right? So if I wanted to make a zombie fairy card, what are the pools that I'm playing with for effects? Do you see what I mean? And these cards aren't trapped to being played only with this ruler. So you're not stuck playing only, Court of Avalon for the Fae cards, right? Just because you choose a Fae ruler doesn't mean you have to have exclusively Fae cards, right? Can you send it to me then? Yeah, I can send you the basics. It is still kind of in the works, Rectal. I'm going to be 100% with you. But it's pretty simple and to the point, and I want to try to make it where it's mostly look at the words on the card, stupid. And I don't want people to necessarily make cards for it, is the main thing. I'm going to be the one. You ask the chef what flavor when the truck isn't even in yet, right? That's a good way of putting it. The thing is, like, this is what I'm effectively making the order sheet for the truck right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if, like, let's say, Recto, you make a cool ass card, right?
What?
System.
OBS disconnected again.
OBS just doesn't like me, I think.
And no, it's just not liking me today.
Looks like we're back.
Anyways, what I was trying to say before we had the disconnect again. Ideally, it's like if you give me a card and it fits 3 different categories, where am I going to put it? Right? Like, where would this kind of card fit? What origins, because I'm using the term origins for all these factions, where would I put it? Right? And if I give every single one 3 to work with, I'm at the archetypes and stuff, basically what you're doing right now. I wanted to wait for the base system to be done and familiarize myself with doing it. Okay, origins. Right. It's archetypes, origins, factions, they're kind of interchangeable, but I'm using the term origins for the system. That represents where these cards come from and what their cards are going to be tied to. Right? I don't have names for everything on them right now. But I'm working on that flavor, right? We're working on that. Like, I really like the idea of the Risen Legion preventing people from escaping hell, escaping the grave too, right? Not necessarily grave hate, right? Because, like, we have graveyard hate specifically, right? Over in the Gods and Clerics. But more along the lines of, like,
the controlling the grave.
Right, more along the lines of controlling the grave rather than removing from the grave or stopping, right?
The risen being the bodies within the graves, as the gods and clerics are more actually maintaining the grave.
Yeah, a little bit of, and that's where it's like you could technically have zombie clerics as a result, and it'd be a little weird cute combo. You can get names for you have right now for the actual physiology of the creatures, but use the stuff like the resolution. That's what we're saying, Rectal. Right. That's kind of what we're doing. Like thematically, they're going to be this is the undead group. But when I'm talking about for their effects, it's going to say the Risen Legion. Right? If I'm talking about like storybook, like memories and dreams and cute stuff, it's going to have its own name, but it's going to be that group, right? It's going to have that aesthetic. As a Cynical helped me point out, if you think of like the Yummies, the Melfies, the Ghost Tricks, they're kind of in that dream cute stuff category, Rectal. Their aesthetic is that. Could be a double edge in its own deck, I feel. A effect that grounds itself, but something while engraved, something like that someday. There might be something like that, Rectal. I mean, not Ren. Fuck. But as a result, like,
Curse you both have an RE in your name.
Right. There could be something like that, but like we could there's something along those lines where there could be design space for it. But I want to give us a baseline. So like Dreaming Cute Stuff has its design. It wants to be the defensive alternate win condition group. Sci-Fi wants to be your token swarm, your piercing, your equipment deck. Right? Like those guys are good. Dragonkin is missing one. Right?
Would Wrath go there?
Would Wraths go there? That's a good question.
Board wipes.
That is a good question.
Burn it all in Dragonfire. Since we had destroy effects, so having Wrath of Gods would probably fit in there.
You can make Dragonkin do a lot of buff effects or like projection for themselves. That's a possibility. I know we're talking about like immunity style effects for the elementals, and I know we're talking about big green stop for kaiju, right? Like literally make them just classically big green stoppy. Like when you can have a boss monster that can't be targeted. I don't know. That's a good thought. Like we're just missing a couple effects here and there, right? Honestly, I think that's really funny as a you say boss monster and my brain went, wait a second, a CEO redirecting blame. You just made me think of like redirect effects.
Have a flag bearer / bodyguard card. Lol, wait, you might be cooking.
Right. Because we're already talking about a promotion effect where like if you do if you meet the condition, they get a little bit more power and they get an effect.
AoE damage.
AoE damage. Ooh. That's not a bad idea. I'll put that down as like a 4th maybe, right? Like I said, I'll put that down as like a 4th maybe option, just because conceptually that sounds like fun, right?
Actually, then that would actually go into questioning. Like, would we? This is a general idea, but would we actually have like a board kind of like Yu-Gi-Oh in a way then?
And see, that's the possibility, right? Like, this is
Because
what I
we
mean by
had
like, this is what I mean by like, it's a little frameworky right now. Where it's like, because that begs the question: am I going to be sticking it to let's say 5 zones, five zones up front, 5 zones in back, right?
Mhm.
If that's the case, would repositioning matter?
Repositioning would be like Mech Knights.
And see, that's kind of like where the question comes up, right? Maybe we could do a hybrid of Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic for the board. See, that's a possibility, right? My brain is kind of going, how would this work, right?
Mm-hmm. Actually, if we were to actually put the repositioning and such, that would also go well with adventures because we had it with the whole retreat to live, retreat to fight for another day kind of idea.
Right. We were talking about the return to hand kind of effect, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's more loose, but they're still designated places as if there were unlimited monster and spell zones. See, that's kind of, I'm not disagreeing to that, Rectal. It is a genuinely interesting thought, right?
The fact that you're saying that, Rectal, makes me think like Chaotix.
Chaotix is not a bad card game, though.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad card game, but like
I mean, it also plays
remember,
into
like,
a little
12
bit
positions.
of it also plays into a little bit of the Gwent, because there's like the multiple card zones for the different types of cards too.
Having front row and back row type stuff for your creatures, but then having like the actual like incantations be like the full back row.
Magic has no creature limit, so it's basically that. See, and that's the thing, right? That's where the question about an AoE, it would go from strictly being an AoE to more of a multi-attack setup, right? Which I'm not opposed to, right? I'm not opposed to a multi-attack setup for big monsters, right?
And now that's taking me back to Buddy Fight with the multi-attacks, as you call it.
Well, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Used to have it.
Yeah, I remember
The Spirit
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Monsters had it.
having-
Ashura.
Yeah, like when you said multi-attack, I recently watched all of Buddy Fight, so I know Dragon Bots. His one of his abilities was a double attack, where he can attack one monster and then he can attack another monster. But then, and later on, when he gets upgraded, he gets a quintuple attack.
Well, see, there you go. That would fix Kaiju's right there, right? Kaiju's just get multiple attacks. Maybe they're not as strong as other ones, but the ones that get multiple attacks are for... Instead of doing 3 attacks at once, you just look and see if there are any creatures next to it. Oh, they're going to take the same damage, or... Well, the idea is that you're doing comparative power, Fractal, right? So, if you're
Wait, so, Rack,
3
are we
hitting into a
talking,
5, you're going to lose your
multi-mod?
monster.
Yeah, because like, are we talking about like Thunder's Warlord Dragon Bots from Buddy Fight, or are we talking Bujinti Susanoo, who has just like a full-on horizontal swing?
I'm thinking more like metaphors AoE spells, right? It would be like you choose X number of creatures, you fight all of them simultaneously.
Okay,
right?
so like Bujinti Susanoo.
Kinda, yeah. It would be more along the lines where it's like, okay, all 3 are checked, all 3 are resolved at the same time. If you lose, you lost your creature on one of them. If you lose on one of them, you lost your creature. That's fine. But the risk reward is that you destroyed up to 3 creatures with that one attack. I think that's a fair way to go about it. You know?
And have it, would you have it go like right to left in that instance then?
Well, no, you would resolve all three simultaneously, right?
Yeah.
So let's say you have a 5 power creature, right?
Mm-hmm.
You choose creature 1, creature 2, creature 3, right?
Yes.
After the defender phase is declared, after any invocations happen, right? Because invocations are effectively instants, right? When you go to resolve that, if any one of them was somehow bigger than the kaiju dies. But any of the ones that are lesser at the same time still die. If all three are lesser, then they all still die. It resolves out all at once instead of ordered.
Okay, so instead of having an order of effect, we would just have it all simultaneously happen like in Magic the Gathering.
Yes. The reason why you would do all of that simultaneously for that attack was just for the sole purpose of making sure that the kaiju player does what it does, but also the players defending get to do what they do, right?
Yeah.
Again, I want this. A big thing about me with this theoretical idea is that I want this to be balanced, but I want the players to feel like they have something their deck does that not other decks do without, either spreading out their effects and sure, maybe getting a cool effect here and there, but also having synergy within that card's kits, right? Like, for example, maybe that Muruganda Petroglyphs type card, right, may only apply to kaiju cards. We're not doing HP. It's literally comparative power, right? So kaiju cards might not have abilities, for example.
With the Digimon cards, Rectal.
So Rectal, the kaiju cards might not have abilities, but their support cards give them abilities. Right? Think like of the Ikoria Magic card set. Or the ability tokens.
Oh no.
Does that make sense? Oh god damn it.
Yeah,
I saw it, I literally watched it happen.
Oh, are we back?
Welcome back. Shouldn't that be more of a sci-fi thing? Not necessarily. Right? So,
getting powers through external sources.
Well, so here's the thing, right? Let's say I have an invocation, right? And this invocation says you're inciting the primal rage of a creature. And you give it, I don't know, enduring, right? Let's say the word enduring, which means you can't be destroyed by combat, right? For this turn.
In terms of what could be said, it's like adapting to other freaking predators.
Right. It would be like a temporary for the turn boost. Think big green stompies giant growth, right? Meanwhile, sci-fi is going to be more along the lines of specifically getting pieces of equipment, swords, guns, armor, shields, energy shields. That would be more along the lines where it would be a physical permanent on the field, like Magic the Gathering's artifacts. If that makes more sense.
I was just about to make the green connection.
Yeah, no. Kaiju is our big green stompy of this game.
As I previously mentioned, Galta Primal Hunger.
Yeah, Galta is a good example. Even technically by extension, Zakama is a good example too.
Yeah, Zakama Primal Calamity does more or less.
It's much more of a big green stompy card than it is a truly Naya card.
Yeah,
Kaiju Dragon sounds fun. Then
it's just
that's the point.
The big dinos.
that's kind of the point then, Rectal, right? You can see there's some natural inclination to do some kind of fusions, right? Like having dragonkin effects and kaiju effects. But then what if you gave your kaiju a sword from sci-fi? What's stopping you? Other than it might not have a specific sci-fi specific synergy. Like, what if, just for humor's sake, right? Let's say I made a relic item, right? And call it, like, Mechamorph. And the entire purpose of it is basically the theme is you've made Mecha Godzilla. So it's a kaiju sci-fi card. And it specifically gives a bonus to kaiju and sci-fi cards. Or it applies the sci-fi keyword, the sci-fi origin to your kaiju monster.
It's not like Metal Morph and Metal Zoa.
That's why I said Mechamorph.
You actually took it for inspiration from Metal Morph.
Yeah, that's why I said Mechamorph.
I didn't put the connection until just now.
But yeah, see, that's the idea. Like, you could have a card from sci-fi that literally says, okay, it becomes a sci-fi card. Essentially, alien tokens.
Alien tokens from Yu-Gi-Oh!
In a sense, but without it being bad. And having actual fucking support. Right. I'm also going to make sure I write down that Mechamorph.
Well, yeah.
But so, like, you kind of get what I'm talking about, right? So this is why, and we can make theoretical cards like this all the time, but we have to have like an idea of what those cards belong to before we can really start like adding those kind of thematics to it, right?
Yeah, like how we had the Tomb Kingdom idea for Dreams.
Yeah, like Tomb Kingdom being like a dream card, right? Except since you eventually run out of cards, every turn you'd have to, in quotations, shuffle your graveyard into your deck, and then it costs you 1 life point cumulative. So it would be 1 life point, then 2, then 3, then 4, right? And since you only have 10 by base, that means you're basically waking up from the dream and having to face reality. So it thematically builds into itself.
And as I, literally, this whole time I've been saying stuff like edicts and wraths for all sorts of different cards, using those specific names for the actual ideas of cards themselves.
And
Such
honestly,
as how you
I
have
think
the unaligned.
I think that for me, in this weird sense, I think as fun as I think it would be the gods and clerics, I think giving them the banish control, I think would be a little bit too much of a power play. Because they're already going to be the control graveyard hate set. Right?
Yeah.
So I think giving the banish specifically to spellcasters, because they're going to be very spell heavy in the first place. And it feels like a type of deck that reminds me of Monarchs, in the sense you have much fewer but higher impact cards on the field. Or that's kind of the feel I'm going for, Rectal. That's almost what I'm trying to go with each identity is going to, each of these origins is going to have an identity that's in that vein, right? Adventurers are all about bringing their friends to the battle, right? Not necessarily tokens, but like temporary advantage, right?
If I'm to state anything from Magic the Gathering, it's like the party mechanic where you have the cleric, the rogue, the warrior, and the wizard.
Right. Or in that same vein, they have like ambush / dash, where it's like their whole thing is about they get to come out temporarily and then they have to go back to the hand, right? Or they get the one-time enter the battlefield effect, right?
Yeah.
So the idea is that they're good on the first turn, but then they're vanilla otherwise. You know, stuff like that. I have big
Only
ideas
the first time.
about that ritual mechanic for spellcasters. What if the more spellcasters you have in the field, the lower the cost of your spellcasting pool? So if we want to talk about that, right? Most of these cards, you're only going to have a number of cards to be played per turn, right? You're not going to be paying a cost normally in the sense of like Magic's costs, right? However, spellcasters having a mana token effect, I think is I think is a good idea, and then having something tied to saying, for every X, every X number of spellcasters you have, reduce the mana cost of an effect, right?
So if I'm to pin this on anything in Magic, it's like the Daxos deck from a long time ago where he had the experience tokens.
Kinda, yeah.
And your enchantments are cheaper based on the amount of experience counters you have.
Mm-hmm. Like that's a good example of what I'm thinking for like that. Like spellcasters might be closer to like the traditional Magic the Gathering style deck, but consequentially, like they're going to be a little bit more. They may have a little bit more powerful effects to offset by that cost that they have to play. If you've played Slay the Spire 2, I think the closest example I have for that is the Regent with the star cost.
Regent
right.
is the one with who summons the giant sword, right?
Yes, but has to pay stars to do some of its effects.
Yeah.
I'll write that effect
so
down,
like
Rectal, because that's a good idea.
In terms of Magic the Gathering overload costs.
Not so much overload costs, more like Convoke.
Entwine too.
Entwine's again not so much Entwine. I think it's more. I think Convoke is the better example, where it's like for every where you can tap a number of creatures to get bonus mana for the cost, or bonus effect or whatever, right? Or multi-kicker in that sense.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say kicker and multi too. Like
everything is kicker or horsemanship.
Additional effect type items.
Right. But like even then, right? Like that could be spellcasters right there. And rituals are closer to sorceries in this game, but like you could play it literally as like actual rituals with the spellcaster style idea. But honestly, this has been.
If there will be once per duel cards too.
Well, see, like the dual cards are going to be like you're going to be pulling from two. So like if it's a Avalon Legion card, right?
Oh, then... no, I didn't say duel like duel as in Origins. I mean once per duel, DUEL.
Oh, okay. Maybe I don't know. I don't know about once per duel cards. I would have to see how the rest of this feels once I start really designing them. Lovecraftian Chaos deck type that's just gambling and manipulating luck, house always wins types of thing. I might stick a lot of those more into the unaligned category.
Yeah, the cards
for two reasons
aren't in a category currently may be in the unaligned.
Well, the thing is also you could do technically if this goes well with what I have so far, right? Then maybe I might introduce other origins like that, right? Because I do like the idea of a Lovecraftian like chaos monster deck, right? I think that's a cool idea. I don't think I think getting this first set down, and I will mark it on the side like a
I think
All right.
Elias is saying
You know
go
what?
to bed.
I'm gonna go get some food. I'm gonna go finish this, like, spread out. We are gonna go raid somebody before I lose my mind over these disconnects.
We've been getting DC'd all day, Rectal.
It's been happening off and on, and I don't know why. So we're gonna go raid Hana. Right? Because we keep getting disconnected. I'm having fun. I'm enjoying this. I feel productive. We will see you guys later. Have fun. Stay safe. We will see you tomorrow for commissions, working commissions and metaphor. Have a good night.
Welcome.
Rest well, everyone.